Hello everybody, I'm Thomas, and I'm late today, so I do apologize, but welcome back to another solo gaming Sunday stream this week, Nexalis Edition, where I'll be playing this cool RPG called Nexalis. Yeah, I do apologize, we're running a bit behind today, and not to start streaming a little bit later, but we're here now, so it's all good, hopefully. And yeah, we're gonna be hopping into this game here in just a bit. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Trying to think if there's anything I really need to go over or touch on, or we could just kind of start hopping right into it. Yeah, no, I guess we could kind of just start talking about the game a bit, going over the rules, kind of what it's about, summary. There's like a couple like story summaries in the beginning about kind of what it's about and whatnot. So we'll go over all of that right now. So this is a game created and developed by Cesar Capical. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name, but this is the same developer that made Derelict Delvers, which I played on the stream like a month or so ago and had a lot of fun playing it. I really liked a lot of the things about the game. I liked how creative let you be. I liked the clock aspect. I liked how it was pretty... They're kind of just like self-contained missions. You go to a ship, you go through the rooms, do the thing, then you get out, and then you move on to the next ship, which I thought was pretty cool. And so yeah, this is a new game by them, and so we're gonna go over a little bit of this. I will say, I think this is I don't know if this is a beta or like a playtest version. This is version 0.4. I'll say that much. It says right here on this page. I know this game was on Crowdfunder, which I should have the link in the description. I think as of just earlier today, the campaign ended for it. So I don't know if you could still get it at the moment, but I believe the crowdfunding update said something along the lines of within the next week, there should be an itch.io page with it uploaded, like any fixes and whatnot to it. So I will make sure to put a new link in the description whenever one comes about for how you can acquire this. But yeah, I think as of the time recording this stream, it might not be available. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's the case. And so yeah, I do have a bit of an earlier version. So there probably will be some changes after this. And there's this whole here for the backers, which is still just a, this is the playtest edition. So none of that is there. So there are some great little summaries at the beginning here. Some of them I'll read, some of them I won't. That one, it's okay, but I think this one does a pretty good job at summarizing the game. So I'll go ahead and read it. Welcome to Nexalis. A world of wonder awaits, embarking on breathtaking journeys across the starbound isles, where the magical Nectar forms an ethereal ocean connecting countless uncharted islands. In Nexalis, you and your fellow adventurers navigate the enigmatic sea, guided by celestial constellations shimmering on the surface of the Nectar. Each island holds unique secrets, cultures, and mysterious phenomenon awaiting discovery and exploration. Unravel the mysteries of the celestial nexus, the source of the world's magic, and forge alliance with the inhabitants of the diverse islands. You will create your own stories, building friendships, making allies, and unearthing ancient knowledge. Nexalis invites you to embark on an odyssey through a world of wonder and awe, where each adventure will lead you deeper into the heart of the cosmic ocean. As you sail through the shimmering Nectar, you will uncover the secrets of the starbound isles and leave an undeniable mark on the ever-changing canvas of the cosmos. Prepare to set sail and explore the boundless mysteries of Nexalis, a realm where the stars guide your destiny and the Nectar unlocks the secret of the universe. So a little bit about the world of Nexalis and the idea of Nectar itself. I'll quickly read this little part because it's kind of good to know. In Nexalis, the Nectar is the lifeblood that connects the multitude of small isolated islands. It's said that an ancient cosmic event caused the lands to fragment into these countless isles, each with their own unique culture, flora, fauna. This vast expanse of cosmic plasma is a magical, mysterious substance that flows between the starbound isles, pulsing with vibrant, ever-shifting colors that reflect the celestial patterns guiding adventurers on their journeys. At the heart of the Nectar lies the Celestial Nexus, a mesmerizing, powerful vortex of astral energy that constantly reshapes the plasma seas and its islands. The Celestial Nexus is the source of the world's magic, its power flowing through the ocean like a network of ley lines that bind the islands together. It is believed that the Nexus was created by a divine being known as the Astral Architect, who designed the world as an ever-blooming canvas of exploration and wonder. The constant blossom of islands and oceans of stars, as some locals call it, is a testament of the Astral Architect's desire for endless discovery and growth. So there's a little bit about that. Navigating the Nectar requires an enchanted vessel specifically designed to harness its magical energies to propel themselves forward through the otherworldly seascape. These ships are crafted using ancient techniques and rare materials that resonate with the plasma, allowing them to sail across the ocean safely. As one navigates the Nectar on these enchanted vessels, they are guided by celestial constellations that shimmer on the surface of the plasma. These constellations act as a map and a compass, leading adventurers to new islands and hidden realms. So that's a little bit about the Nectar and whatnot. So yeah, you can see from like a picture like this, you can kind of think of the Nectar as just like water that kind of connects the oceans together, except it's more of like this magical plasma type thing that has stars and celestial stuff in it and is imbued with lots of cool magic. So that's what that is about. So then, yeah, most of this is right there. I'll just kind of skip to the second paragraph. In this game, characters are drifters from diverse backgrounds, united by a shared purpose and an insatiable curiosity for the unknown. You will take on unique roles, aiding locals and protecting the delicate balance of the world as you grow stronger and wiser with every new experience. So that's a little bit about what this game is about. So some inspirations for this game: C4, which I have not heard of or don't really know much about. Agon, which once again I don't know much about. We got Iron Sworn as an inspiration. Of course, I just played that on the channel 2 weeks ago or so. And then Blades in the Dark, which I have heard nothing but good things about, and it's on my list of games to try. But it's interesting how it's an inspiration. So I'm curious in what ways it inspires it, because I don't really know that game. But anyway, here is a gameplay overview. So I'm going to create a playbook for your character, and then playbook, I think it's just kind of is the term that they use for like the player characters. So you customize your characters to your taste. You create your island and your mission. You face challenges and trials as you progress towards your goal. And then you just embark on a journey to the next island. And as you are on your way to the next island, you reflect on your experiences as you recover and advance, and then you just start the next mission. So this game's pretty cool. It's just kind of set up that you could just hop island to island, just doing little mini adventures that could be pretty much as long or as short as you want it to be, as much it kind of makes sense to. So gaming gear for what you need for this game, you really don't need a whole lot. 1 to 6 players can play it solo, like I will be today. At least 2 6-sided dice. Probably one. I guess you don't really need that many more. I don't know if I've used more than 2. I don't think I have, so maybe just 2, but at least it says at least 2, because there's probably cases. You need a copy of your character playbook, and then random tables, which I have printed here, island maps, and paper and stuff. So island maps, I'm going to quickly touch on this before I forget to later. So in this book, let me go back a little bit. You can see they have really cool maps in the book here. And these maps were all made with a website called Perilous Wilds. And I believe is the site name or the site name. But regardless, the site should be linked in the description about this really cool map creator website. And honestly, it's the first I've heard of it. It's what this book recommends to use for making the maps. And it's really neat. You just basically can give it a map size and then a bunch of parameters like, oh, I want an island that's chaotic and evil. give me an island, or I want like an island that's woodland and civilized. Give me an island. And so give it like parameters, you can give it sizes, you can just keep click and generate. So that's how these maps in the book were generated, and that's how it recommends to make maps. So I have went ahead and printed out just a handful of just random maps I generated using that site that I will be using here today. I have like, I think 5 of them printed out. Oops, I just threw one on the ground. 5 of them, but I probably won't get through all of them today. Maybe, who knows? I don't imagine I will, but maybe if I'm just flying through adventures, I'll get through all of them. But yeah, I printed out a handful of them. I was just generating random islands with just different parameters, and have a good handful to use. So that's what I'll use for the maps. And then yeah, I got some extra paper here, pencils. I guess while I'm talking about gaming gear, I'll quickly note, besides the base game here and everything that comes with it, the only other tool I plan to use today, you can maybe kind of see it peeking behind my dice here, is the Mythic Fate chart. So I'm not going to use all of Mythic. I'm just using the Mythic 2nd edition Fate chart as a general oracle to ask questions. This game does have an oracle in it. It's all right. It's not the best, and it's pretty just basic, I guess. And I'm kind of to the point where I really like having Fate charts that have different odd difficulty. Like, I don't like it just being a yes, no. I like having odds kind of play a factor. So if it's near certain, there's a higher chance of yes, or if it's nearly impossible, there's a higher chance of no. Like, I really like that. So this is the one extra thing I will be using today, is the Fate chart. And yeah, just gonna be using that as my yes, no oracle. So that's kind of what's hiding underneath my little face cam here. And I will mention it right now, though I don't think it will come up. I do, off to my side, have both Table Fables and Table Fables 2. Don't plan on using them for anything. When I played previously, I didn't find myself needing any extra tables for anything, but I like having them nearby just in case. So I will just make a note of that now. So those are all the resources I have. So yeah, the website for the map generation using Mythic 2nd Edition's Fate chart. And then I have the Table Fable books nearby, but I don't think I'll need the Table Fables, but figured I'd mention it just because I have them. So, okay. Yes, there's a good page about playing safe and different safety tools and all that, which is good to have, but I'm playing solo today, so it's not super relevant for me. Okay, so the playbooks. In Nexalis, each character's unique abilities and traits are packed in what are called playbooks. There are 6 standard playbooks that you can pick from, and I'll quickly kind of go over. I'm not going to really read the whole description, but first we have the Wild Heart. Embodying the untamed spirit of nature, the Wild Heart is a fierce protector of the wild, drawing strength from the mystical energies that flow through the land. So, in D&D terms, it's like your typical druid. So that's what the Wild Heart is. Next, we have the Bladesworn. The Bladesworn is a valiant champion of honor, courage, and skill, sworn to cause or bound by loyalty. So in D&D terms, that's your typical paladin, maybe a fighter, but that's probably more leaning towards like a paladin type character. Maybe a cleric also, I think, would probably fall in the Bladesworn. But we have Spellweaver. So, masters of arcane secrets and the intricate tapestry of magic, spellweavers command the unseen forces that shape reality. So, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's your typical spellcaster, so your mages, wizards, warlocks. That's kind of what the spellweaver is going for. You have your pathstrider, so nimble and elusive. The pathstrider moves like a whisper on the wind. It's your typical That's your ranger. I was gonna call it. No, the next one's something else. So yeah, pathstriders are basically rangers, hunters, that kind of archetype of character, archers, ranged weapons, stuff like that. That's kind of who the pathstrider is. Then you have the Night Stalker, silent as a shadow and cunning as a fox. The Night Stalker is an embodiment of stealth and deception. So kind of it's like what it sounds like. It's your typical rogue, stealth type class. And then finally you have the Thunder Soul, unleashing a storm of fury and destruction. That Thunder Soul is a whirlwind of raw power and relentless ferocity. So in D&D terms, again, that's like your typical barbarian. Warrior would probably fall into that. So stuff like that. So those are the 6 playbooks. So then each playbook has a couple of different things to it. So they have their ways, their goals, talents, relics, and health and energy points. So we'll kind of just go through each one real fast. So the ways. Ways in this game are kind of like stat abilities in other games. So if you have strength and wisdom and stuff like that in like a D&D type game, they have these different ways, like the different like aspect, like elements, and they kind of represent your different like skill type kind of character types. So I'll quickly skim through what each of the ways do. So you have like the Way of Fire, which is fueled by passion and bravery. Fire represents a character's capacity for violence, leadership, and intimidation against their foes. Way of Ice is symbolizing focus, precision, and determination. Ice embodies a character's concentration, willpower, and the ability to remain steadfast in the face of challenges. You have the Way of Light, which is representing knowledge, reasoning, and perception. Light reflects a character's awareness, logical thinking, planning, and expertise in various disciplines. You have Way of Shadows, which is pretty much what it sounds like. The domain of stealth, subterfuge, and cunning. Shadow encompasses a character's aptitude for deception, thievery, and secretive tactics. You have the Way of the Stone, which is embodying strength, endurance, and resilience. Stone signifies a character's physical power, vigor, and ability to withstand hardships. You have the Way of the Wind, which is characterized by finesse, speed, and agility. Wind represents a character's swiftness, grace, and nimble movements. And then finally, you have the Way of Aether, the essence of connection, empathy, and spirituality. Aether encompasses a character's sociability, expression, and attunement to the magical forces. So those are all the different ways and how it basically works. I'll go over this here in a little bit, but I guess this is the very next page, never mind. Each playbook starts with 3, because you have like different like levels, like kind of skill ranking for your different ways. I guess I can just kind of show you, might make it a little bit easier. You have like different bubbles. You can have up to 4. And so each playbook comes with one of them at 3, one of them at 2, and one of them at 1, kind of already pre-filled in. So you can see like the Spell Weaver here already has 3 light, 2 aether, and 1 ice. So each playbook comes equipped with that. Maybe I'll keep this nearby because I feel like I'll be maybe needing to reference stuff more often. And then how it works is each playbook comes with 3, 2, and 1 already in some of their ways. And then during character creation, I have 4 additional points that I can put into any of them. So pretty cool. All right, so then I guess I can just keep this up over here. So that was the ways area here. Below that, we have goals, which is kind of like what it sounds like. It's what your character's long-term aspirations or dreams that they're trying to complete that are unique to their character. While goals do not have a direct mechanical benefit, they serve as a role-playing compass, assisting you in embodying your character's ethos and aligning decisions with their motivations. This focal point adds depth to the narrative, making the character's journey feel more authentic and personally significant. So each playbook has 4 distinct goals. So the goals that as they call barbarian, like the Wild Heart has, are going to be different than goals than the Spell Weaver has, and you have to choose one. So, for example, the top one here: discover an ancient forgotten spell or magical artifact, revolutionizing the practice of magic. So that's one of the Spell Weaver, one of the magic users' goals, which is a pretty interesting goal to have. And as you can see here, there's little spots at the bottom if you want to write your own. You're feeling creative. All right, next page is talents. So talents, once again, it's kind of like what it sounds like. They're just kind of like unique abilities that set your character apart. So in this game, yeah, those are kind of your main character abilities besides like the base things that you can do. So they can be employed in a wide variety of situations, ranging from social interactions to combat scenarios and challenges. During play, just choose to employ talent as part of your turn, yada, yada, yada. So each playbook has its own set of 10 unique talents. And starting out at character creation, I'll be picking 3 of these talents to choose from. And then there's stuff down here for creating your own talents. And yeah, so these talents, I'll maybe kind of zoom in on this in a second, but the talents, each talent has a little number and then it says EP next to it. So for example, Arcane Bolt, this top one, it costs 2 EP to use. EP is one of the 2 kind of, I don't even know what to call it, like tracking systems you have in this game. You have your health points, HP, and then you have your energy points, EP, which is kind of, energy points is what it sounds like, is you could think of it, your character's like stamina, your energy, your ability to do cool stuff. So all your talents are fueled by energy points. And yeah, that's that. What else? Talent effects. Yeah, they can range from anything from just giving a bonus to doing a whole thing. Like Arcane Blast, for example, fire bolt of magical energy with a +3 bonus to your roll. Pretty cool. I have like Blink, teleport yourself to any location you can see. That sounds pretty useful. So yeah, just random cool talents. And yes, so this part is pretty kind of crucial. So I'll briefly talk about it. Talents versus magic. You don't need a specific talent to use magic. If you believe your character is a magic user, then so they are. Want to cast Lightning Bolt on your foe? By all means, that's just an attack roll, probably with Way of Fire, reflavored to better suit your character's concept. When you use magic through talents, however, you have access to more powerful effects, targeting more than one enemy, applying conditions, dealing harm, and so on. Some talents simply just happen, while others still require a roll. As with any other action, you can choose which way you will use to approach the magical feat. Your Aether score represents your connection to magic, but it does not need to be the only way you express your magic. Pick your way, describe your action, roll the dice. So pretty important. So yeah, just because you don't have a Lightning Bolt ability on here doesn't mean you can't cast Lightning Bolt. These are just extra cool, really awesome stuff you can do, but this isn't like the encompassment of what your character can do. So that's that. And then finally, in the far right little section there, relics. It's kind of like what it sounds like. They're really just cool items that your character can use. So it is assumed your character has everything they need to go on a mission: adventuring gear, provisions, money, and even their basic weapons and armor. However, each playbook also has access to special equipment that can grant you an edge under specific circumstances. Those are called relics, and they could be weapons, armor, or other artifacts. And so each playbook includes 8 unique relics, which is pretty cool. And then you could choose 2 during character creation. And as you can see here, each of them kind of have 3 bubbles. So they each have like 3 different levels of power. And yeah, most of them, I think pretty much every relic will provide some +1 bonus. And then as you level it up more, you get higher bonus. So if this mesmerizing orb, a crystal orb that entrances those who gaze upon it, I get +1 to captivate or persuade others with magical displays. So level 1, that's what that would do. At level 2, I would get a +2. Level 3, a +3. And those are the relics. So I start with 2 kind of level 1 relics. And then there is health points and energy points. Health points, it's pretty self-explanatory. It is your character's physical well-being, while energy points is kind of your like inner reserves, your fuel tank, your, yeah, I don't know. If HP is physical, like endurance, then energy points is kind of your mental endurance, you know? So both can be recovered by resting, and also after completing a mission, they'll both go back to max. And yeah, depending on the playbook, you have different amounts. So the Thunder Soul, who is the warrior, is going to have 26 HP, which is kind of a lot, but only 14 EP. While Spellweaver, who is not very much a warrior, only has 16 HP. They pretty much have swap stuff, but then 24 EP. So depending on your playbook, you get different amount of health and energy points. So in summary, here is how character creation works. You choose a playbook, you add 4 extra points to your ways. You choose a goal, choose 3 talents, 2 relics, and set your maximum HP and EP. and then you write down your name and pronouns somewhere. I guess probably on the front, right? Yeah, somewhere over here. Yeah, right now, there's different copies of this character sheet. There's normally supposed to be art here, but yeah, I didn't print out those because my colored ink is running low. That's also why I printed my maps in black and white, because I was like, I don't really have colored ink right now, but it's all good. Yeah, and these are just showing off some of the I guess this is some of the cool art. I'll just kind of flip through because it's really well done. Yeah, we have the Wild Heart. This is like the druid. Yeah, they have a lot of aether, very magic oriented. You got the Blade Sworn, very brave and have a lot of fire way. They have Spellweaver, who is very into being knowledgeable and magical. And then you got Past Strider, who's very agile and swift and pretty knowledgeable. You got the Night Stalker, who's very stealthy and pretty swift. And then the Thunder Soul, who is super and durable and tough and also pretty passionate and brave. So yeah, those are all the cool playbooks. They even have a couple of rules in here to create your own playbook if you're feeling up to it. So that was character creation. Let's go a little bit over how the game plays and some of the basic rules of it. So adversaries. Adversaries represent all the different things that stand in your way to accomplish missions. They serve as obstacles to test your skills, wits, and endurance. Adversaries can be categorized into 3 main types. This is pretty important. Adversaries, it's the bad stuff that kind of happens in this game. It's stuff that challenges you. You have 3 different types. You have type number 1 is just a challenge. Type number 2 is a contest, and type number 3 is combat. So first one is, we'll go over his challenge. So challenge involves overcoming obstacles, solving puzzles, accomplishing tasks, avoiding threats, enduring hardships, disarming traps, and more. How you can think of this if you're like a normal, like if you play like D&D or something, this is your standard like skill check. It works a little bit differently. I will say that for sure, but it's the same kind of similar concept where you're just trying to do a thing. There is a challenge rating, and then you have to try to beat that. So, and they have little ranges here. So for like from 4 to 6, you can expect to beat the challenge with a single action. 7 to 9, it will require 2 to 3 actions, or 10 or higher. It's going to be a while. And the thing with challenges that you can see here, it's not, because pretty much every challenge can be overcome. So that's why the CR, it's not talking about how difficult something is. It's more talking about how long it's going to take you to do that thing. So that's why here it's like the higher CR, it doesn't say it's like, oh, this is a deadly thing. It's like, no, it's just expected to take longer to do. So that's the first type of adversary, is a challenge. You also have contests, which is kind of like what it sounds like. Contests include situations like chases, competitions, debates, non-lethal duels, and negotiations. They are presented with evocative imagery, followed by the description of your opposition. So contests kind of have 2 different things going for them. The main thing is whoever your opponent is going to have something called skill level, SL. And it's going to be anywhere from like, let's see, on a contest, it could be anywhere from 0 to +6. And you can see here, so like a 0 is just an easier opponent. +2 is kind of the default. It's fair shot. +4 is a worthy opponent. +6 is a formidable opponent. Or you can just roll a d6 to get a random skill value, which doesn't sound like a good idea. So that's kind of how contests are laid out. And I'll go into a little bit more detail on how you exactly resolve these. Same with the challenges. I'm just kind of giving an overview, and then here in a few more pages, I'll go into depth about how you actually like roll to do these and how they're resolved. But with contests, you basically have 2 things. You have your skill challenge, and then you have, I'll go over it more later, your CS, which is your contest score. And yeah, it normally starts at 0, but that can also change. And then finally, so we had challenges, we had contests, and now we have the last type, which is combat. If you're in a fantasy, if you're in like some sort of RPG, there's a good chance you're going to be doing some combat. So in combat, yeah, both sides are willing to inflict harm upon one another. Combat difficulty is defined by two factors. You have the enemy's skill level, kind of like the challenge, and then you also have their health points. Pretty self-explanatory. Skill level will vary from +0 to +6, +2 being the most common, and then HP is from like 4 to 14, with 7 being the most common. And also enemies may have powers, which are pretty cool, unique abilities that activate whenever an enemy rolls a 6 on their attack roll. So that's that. The powers don't need like explicit mechanical effects. They can just come up with stuff and express the manifestation of their power and bonuses for the die roll as you see fit, kind of. And yeah, you have to define the SL, HP, and power of each of your enemies, but there are some tables in the back here that already have some of that stuff laid out, which is pretty cool. Yeah, combat, there's some tables you can roll on. Same with contests and challenges. They have some pre-made tables here that you can just roll on if you're feeling kind of lazy. And yeah, so that's combat. A word on balance and stats. So I guess I'll touch on this real fast. When coming up with stats for an adversary, do not worry about balance or making it fair. You should decide their values based on how interested you are in overcoming them. Higher scores mean you will spend more time to defeat it. Perhaps a simple task during a combat scene should be resolved in a single roll. Make it a challenge with a CR of 6 or lower. Perhaps the challenge is the main aspect of the scene, like a complex puzzle. Do you want all players to have a chance to engage with it? And are you invested in the scene? Bump the CR up to 10 or more and savor every step of the solution. Adversaries should serve the narrative. Don't be afraid to adjust the values to better fit the needs of your story, even in the middle of a scene. Yeah. So that's that. All right. So I've talked about the 3 different types of adversaries. So now I'll talk about the 3 ways you kind of overcome them, and yeah, you get past them. So we'll start with challenge rolls. So challenge rolls, kind of talked about earlier, there is a set number that you're trying to beat, somewhere in the range of, and it could be anywhere from, I think 4 to 12, I think is the range. I'm sure you could probably go outside of that. And so what you want to do, because there's 3 main steps. You declare and decide, you roll, and then you check your results. So declare and decide. You declare your action, and then you decide which of your ways you're going to use. So I've come upon a rickety bridge that needs to be crossed. It's going over a crazy canyon. Okay, so that's a challenge rating of 9, let's just say. Okay, so challenge rating 9. So then at first I would need to come to my ways and figure out which way I want to use. Well, crossing a rickety bridge sounds like a wind. I'm trying to take some precision and whatnot. Right now my wind is 0. So then you would roll a d6 and add your way score. If I was trying to cross using, Aether and trying to find like using magic somehow to aid me, then I can add +2. So let's just say that. Yeah, I'm using magic. I add +2. So I roll a d6, add 2. That is 5 total. Cool. But the difficulty was 9. Okay, well, what happens? And there's kind of 3 main things that can happen. It's either equal or higher than, or it's less than. I guess 2 main things. So if it's equal or higher than, challenge is overcome. You're done. Move on. If it's lower than, like in this case, you have kind of 2 options. You can either advance towards your goal, or it doesn't make sense to keep trying, and you can kind of just give up on the challenge. Most of the time, you're going to want to just keep on going to actually complete the thing you're trying to complete. So what you do is, like in this case, if I was trying to complete a challenge of 9, I rolled 3 + 2 is 5. It's not 9. So then what you do is reduce the challenge by 1 and narrate your progress. You change something in the scene, introducing a complication, cost, setback, or a hard choice. And the main thing about that is that this may include a loss of HP or EP if it makes sense. It's one of the main things you can do. It doesn't have to be the thing you do. And then finally, you keep trying. You can either choose a different approach or different player. And that's how you do a challenge. So in this case, I rolled a 3 plus 2 is 5. The challenge rating was 9. I didn't beat it. So then we'll say, okay, so I'm trying to cross like a rickety bridge. Oh no. So I'm trying to use magic, and maybe I'm like trying to like kind of levitate across, and then some point along, like I'm starting to go along, and then my magic kind of gives out, and I start like, I land on the bridge and a board breaks below me, and now it's like, oh no, I'm still on the bridge and I'm making my way across, but my magic's failed me. What am I gonna do? And then you keep rolling. So it's like, okay, I'll try magic again. So I'll add +2, roll again. That's a 1, that's no good. So that's a 3 against, what was it, an 8 now? Because it went down by 1. Still no good. So then you rinse, wash, and repeat. Okay, well maybe this time now my foot fell through and I kind of hurt my leg, then you lose an HP. You keep going until at some point you roll whatever you add to it equals or beats the challenge rating. And that's how a challenge roll works. And one thing I like about this PDF is they have great little examples. So pretty much after like a lot of the stuff in here, they have really nice examples that really help you get an idea of how stuff works. So pretty neat. I'm obviously not really going to go over the examples because I'll be playing some here shortly. So contest rules are the next type of adversaries to go over. Contest rules encompass all actions in which there is an active opposition to the character's action, but they are not trying to harm each other. So once again, this kind of has 3 main parts. You declare and decide, you roll, and you check the result. So declare and decide. So I talked about earlier, there's kind of 2 main things you have to set for a contest roll. You have to set the opponent's skill level, which can range, but it's usually going to be about +2, but it can be anywhere from like +0 to +6. After you define the skill level, the other thing you need to make sure is you set the contest score, which is called the CS. Normally starts at 0, but if one side has an advantage, you can add or subtract 1 or 2 if you feel the need. In a contest, you want the number to be positive, so adding, if you start the contest at like, +1 or +2, that means you have some benefit that you've started with, or the other way, if you're trying to negotiate with like a leader of a clan and you're like in their headquarters surrounded by their guards, like you're already not starting off at a good foot. So that contest would probably start at like a -1 or 2 at that point. So that's kind of how you do that. Pretty cool that they have that in here. So you set your contest score to start with, you declare what you're doing, envision the opposition, what they're doing kind of in return, decide which ways you're going to use depending on your current approach to the contest. So once again, you pick a way and then you'll add that number to your dice roll, and then you roll. So you roll 2d6, you roll 1 for yourself and 1 for the opposition. So in this case, I rolled 3 for both. And then basically on my dice, I add the way I used, and then on the opponent's dice, you add their skill level. And then you compare the results. And then in this one, there's kind of 3 different options. If your result is higher than the opponent's, you add the difference to the contest score. So let's just say I rolled a 5 plus 2 is 7, and their skill is +2. So the difference is 2. I rolled higher. That means essentially I would add 2 to the contest score. And on the character sheets, there's a cool little tracker here next to the character for contest. So you start at 0. Basically, you win or lose a contest. If you win, if it goes to +6, you lose if it goes to -6. That's kind of the end goal of a contest, is to get either to +6 or to -6. And yeah, it's a pretty cool little system. Hello there, Alexandra. That sounds interesting so far. Do you know where this will be sold after the crowdfunder? I believe it's going to be on itch.io. I think, like I said, I think the crowdfunding just ended like earlier today, unfortunately. But as of the last update on the crowdfunding website, I think he said that he's going to polish up the PDF like this week, I think, and then have a itch.io page somewhere where you can buy it and try it. So I think that's the plan, but I will definitely post an updated link in the description whenever that comes out. probably later this week, I think. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate timing that I think it ended just earlier today, but I don't know, it's just how it goes. So yeah, I forget how much it costs. I think it only cost me like 10 bucks. I mean, I think it was in euros, so I forget what the conversion was, but I think it was around like 10 or 15 bucks. So definitely not super expensive at all. And I haven't played it too much, but I think it's worth it. I think it's a great little game. So yeah, I think that's kind of what's going on with the crowdfunding. Also, my Steam Labs is telling me to hydrate, so I'll hydrate. There you go. No problem. No problem. So yeah, that's contest rolls. So yeah, if it's higher, you add the difference to the contest score. If it's lower, you subtract the difference. And also you describe how the opponent gets closer to their goal, which may result in HP or EP loss, but that probably won't happen. And then of course, if they're the same, you might describe a slight change or something, but no actual progress mechanically is made. So that's contest roll. I think it's a really cool, neat little system for, doing negotiations or bartering or chasing somebody or stuff like that. Because sometimes, especially in a game like D&D, like chases can be kind of hard and weird. I know they have like their own system for it, but I kind of like this one. So it's pretty cool. And the other thing I guess I should note about contests is that they only last so long, and that if you reach 6 exchanges and you still haven't either hit a +6 or a -6 for this overall contest score, then you just end the debate. And then pretty much whatever side the score is on is the winner. So if it's somewhere in the positives, you win, or if it's in the negatives, you lose. So that's kind of how those work. And once again, they have a nice little example here in the book and a cool little map. And then finally, good old combat. Can't have an RPG without combat. I mean, you can, but like an adventuring RPG is gonna have some combat. So it's luckily the combat is really pretty straightforward. So some of it's a little, I don't want to say weird, but it's definitely different, especially like the whole initiative thing. So whenever people engage in a battle, determine who acts first. So each player rolls a d6 and the enemies roll a d6 without modifiers. So then if the player's dice is higher, the players attack first. If the enemy's dice is higher, the enemies attack first. It's pretty self-explanatory, I think. If there's a tie, I forget what happens. I think you just reroll for initiative, I think. And yeah, but so the rules for attacking are pretty straightforward. You, once again, it's kind of 3 steps. You declare and decide, you roll, and you check your results. So decide which of your ways you're going to use, and depending on how you're going to attack, then you roll 2d6, one after another. This is another case where one of them will be for you, one of them will be for the opponent. So you will add your way score to one, and you will add the enemy's skill level to the other, and then compare the results. And so in this case, this would not be a good result because I rolled a 2, they rolled a 5. So if your attack is higher than the enemy's defense, which is what their dice kind of represents, then your attack, you hit them. You subtract the difference between the numbers from their current HP, and then the enemy goes next. If your attack is lower than the enemy's defense, then you have one of 2 options. They either dodge, parry, or absorb your attack, and then they go, or they avoid your attack and deal you a counter blow where you take damage. So in this case, let's just say there's no modifiers, 5 against a 2. My 2 is lower than the 5, so I could either just say like, oh, my attack missed, it's the enemy's turn. Or I can say, you know what? No, I missed, and this enemy made a counterattack against me. Since the difference is 3, I'm taking 3 damage. Obviously, it's not ideal, but the nice thing about the counter blow is then you could choose a player to go next. So basically, if you're just playing solo, you could choose yourself to go again. So pretty cool little system. And yeah, if an enemy reaches 0 HP, they're defeated. And yeah. So that's attacking. Defending it works really pretty similarly. You decide on what fate you're going to use. You roll 2d6, you add your way to one, and then the enemy's skill to the other. And it's kind of the same thing. If your defense is higher, the enemy's attack, I can either choose to just dodge their attack, or I could choose to avoid their attack and deal a counter blow, which is pretty cool. Obviously, if my defense is lower than their attack, they just hit me, I lose HP. If the enemy rolls a 6, their power activates. And if a character reaches 0 HP, they have to do like a face death type thing, which is, it's not good. Facing death isn't good. But that's that. So there's a page on strategies and a nice example, yada, 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 so on. So this page, a couple extra things when it comes to the game itself, I guess. Splitting dice is a thing you can do in this game, which is kind of a cool idea. So whenever your dice rolls a 6 of any kind during any kind of roll, you have the option to do what's called splitting that dice. So if you choose to do so, you roll 2 new dice to replace the original 6 with the sum of the results, but you must keep the second results even if it's lower. You can continue to split dice if they land on a 6, which is pretty cool. Enemies never split dice. So yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you're doing some roll, you roll it. That would have been cool if I rolled on a 6. But yeah, you roll on a 6. You're like, well, I could take a 6 here, or I could try to split the dice, roll 2 extra dice. Oh, in this case, I got a 7. I got a 1 and a 6. So then I could split this dice. So I'll keep the 1, put this off to the side, re-roll 2 new 6s. Okay, so now we got 1, 2, 3, 4 total. So I rolled lower. And that's kind of the risk you're going to run, is that you can maybe keep like kind of stacking stuff, but at the same time, there's a chance you roll lower and then you have to keep it. So pretty cool little system in here is splitting dice. There's effort. So we talked about EP, effort points. You can choose before rolling a dice on any kind of roll. Doesn't matter what kind. You can choose to spend energy points to add a bonus to that roll. Each point spent is a +1, and you can spend up to 3 points per roll. Pretty cool stuff. And then there's just other bonuses and penalties that can come from talents and relics and yada, yada, yada. So that's that. Here's a typical turn overview. So you can move a reasonable amount. You use a talent. You can make one of the 3 basic rolls. You can ask the Oracle if you want to add more details to the scene, and do anything else that does not involve a roll. Yeah, it says right here, concept of terms is primarily relevant during combat and to track duration of some talents. But yeah, and there's no need to use grids or miniatures to determine position or movement. Just narrate what feels exciting for you. Keep the scene engaging, unpredictable, and dynamic. So oracles, there's lots of good oracles in the back for different stuff. Like I said, there is a yes/no oracle, but I'm not the biggest fan of it because it's kind of just simple. That's why I have Mythic hiding back here, is because I'm using the Mythic oracle. But yeah, I've heard of exploding dice, but splitting dice sounds super fun. Yeah, no, I think that's, yeah, because I have heard of exploding dice before, but honestly, I don't know if I've ever actually played a game that uses it. There's a couple games I've read through or like glanced at or like heard about that uses exploding dice, but yeah, no, it seems like a pretty neat concept where it's like you don't have to take it, but if you do, you could possibly get more, but you might get less. I think on average, you're going to get more, because I think dice always roll half of their value plus a half, right? So like the average roll on a D6 is 3.5. So on average, you should be rolling about 7 value worth. So it should be, if you take the splitting dice, it should probably net you more overall. But yeah, it seems like a neat little system for sure. So yeah, there's oracles. So yeah, advancement. So after you complete a mission on an island, you have a chance to advance your character, which is pretty neat. So you get to upgrade stuff, upgrade your relics, upgrade talents, and then also you get to recover HP and EP after each session. So a gameplay loop. Okay, so we've kind of gone over some of the the turn overview and all that. We're almost done with the rules overview. It's been taking me a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I also started later, so that's on me. So here's a typical gameplay loop for this game. So you arrive at an island. The locals greet you and present you with a problem they need help with. You embark on your first mission, framing your first scene and your first obstacle that you need to face. You perform your actions in order to overcome your trials. You may rest before you continue. You keep framing scenes and facing obstacles until you feel the mission is coming to a conclusion. You end the mission and leave the island. You can embark on a journey to the next island, and you have a chance to reflect on the experiences and bond with your colleagues as you recover and advance. And then it loops. So the game is essentially divided into two phases. You have the island phase, which happens on the island, and then you have the seafaring phase, which happens afterwards when you're doing the seafaring stuff. So there's a little outline here about the island phase and like certain oracles you can roll on. There's some for like island description, island names, problems on the island, roles of people, all that stuff. So I've kind of summarized that on like a little cheat sheet off to the side. So I don't really need to go over that. Yeah, you can roll D6 to get a different, like what kind of adversary you want to face and all that stuff like that. Yeah, I'm trying to just fly through this. I don't know if there's anything else I really need to talk about. Stuff for adding extra details. Yada, yada, yada. Is there anything else? There's rest moves. Kind of talk about that. Ending a mission. Yeah, and like I kind of talked about this earlier, but a mission, like how long you're on the island, it's really up to you. It could be however long or as short as you want. You could plan it out beforehand. You could just wing it. Yeah, it's kind of just whatever you want it to be. There's like some suggestions and whatnot. Seafaring phase, you depart and recover in advance. So yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. But what I forget, dive. Okay, and that's just the ways you upgrade your character. And then it's the oracle, so that's that. That's everything. So oh hey, there he is. Okay, it'll be on your itch page soon. Okay, cool. I'm glad to hear. Yeah, I felt that was kind of like awkward timing because I think it was I believe it was earlier today that I saw that the crowdfunding ended, which I was like, should have just did this a day earlier, but whatever. So yeah, this is that was the rules overview. A little late for me here, past midnight. Oh geez, you'll get to the VOD later. I appreciate you stopping by live. We just got done with a bit of a rules overview. I'm about to create my playbook and start actually hopping into this. But yeah, I'm excited to play it here on stream. Been having a lot of fun playing this off stream, and yeah. Try to figure out what playbook I want to play now, even though, to be honest, I think I already have a decision. So a quick overview of the playbooks again. You got the Wild Heart, it's like the Druid, the Bladesworn, it's kind of like your Warrior. You have Spellweavers, your Arcane person. You got the Pathstrider, which is like your Ranger, the Night Stalker, which is like your Rogue, and then the Thunder Soul, which is your kind of Barbarian, Fighter, Warrior type person. I've already got him weighed over here. I think I'm gonna go with the Spellweaver. The Spellweaver kind of sounds fun. Before, when I was playing earlier this week, I was playing the Pathstrider, the Hunter, which was pretty cool. And a lot of their stuff came in handy. I mean, I was using like all my talents. My relics came up a couple of times. So I was having fun playing the Pathstrider, but I think this time I'm gonna switch it up a little bit and play the Spellweaver. Get a little bit of get some arcane magic stuff going on. Let me flip back to, so all that's filled in. So what do I still need to fill in? The health. Okay. Nah, Soul Gaming Saturday doesn't have the same ring to it. Yeah, I know. No, I know that would be weird to do it on to do stream on a Saturday. Yeah. Hope you have a great time. Thank you. Hope you enjoy the VOD whenever you watch it. But yeah, I appreciate you popping by. Even though it's late there, man. That is late. Getting a visit from my kitty. Oh, she's going away in her chair. Okay, cool. All right, so my Spellweaver. First things first, I'm going to set their HP and EP. So I start with 16 HP and 24 energy points, which is great because I'm going to be casting all of the spells. I need a name. I could do Marbash, but that's like, I already played Marbash. Marbash is the hunter. Marbash was originally a hunter, so Patch Strider fit pretty well. Spellweaver, I'm gonna go with Tydaris. That's the name, Tydaris. I guess, I don't know, is there a spot for pronouns? Maybe I'll just write, no, they will be a she, her for their pronouns. Tydaris. Something like that. Okay, so that's done. Health point and EP set. So now I need to assign 4 extra points to my little ways down here. We already have 3 in white, 2 in aether, 1 in ice. I think, so I'm gonna be an adventure. I have 4 points. Well, I think I want to put another in aether because I want to be really magically connected. I think I would probably want at least 1 in wind, because if I'm gonna be like exploring and whatnot, it'd be nice to have some swiftness, some agility. Probably having some shadow would also be good, to be a little bit sneaky at times if I need it. I'm kind of debating 1, 2, 3. So I have 1 more point to spend. I'll double check, but I think I can max one out to 4. I don't know if there's any like restrictions on that when creating your character. I don't think there is. Okay. I know in some games are like, oh, you can only set it this high on character creation, then you can level it up more later. Because I kind of want to put another point into aether and just use magic to solve all my problems. So we got a little bit more sneaky, got a little bit more agility, a little bit more magic. It could go with more like knowledge, more like magic and spirit. I'm gonna go with more magic. I want to go all out on the magic. Go crazy. I mean, I'm a spell weaver. I gotta go full throttle on my aether way here. So then goals. Okay, so the different goal options we have: discover an ancient forgotten spell or magical artifact, revolutionizing the practice of magic. That's a heck of a goal. Establish a prestigious academy dedicated to the advancement of the arcane arts. Also a really cool goal. Unlock the hidden potential of my magical abilities, becoming a paragon of power and wisdom. Okay. And then thwart a dire magical threat, earning a legendary reputation as a protector of the Isles. That one's pretty cool too. I kind of like the first one or the last one. Discovering an ancient forgotten spell or a magical artifact to revolutionize the practice of magic. Or to thwart a dire magical threat, earning a legendary reputation as the protector of the Isles. Both of them sound cool. I mean, both of them I think are valid, interesting goals. I mean, I think pretty much all of them are. Not as much of a fan of the third one, but I feel like we're a magic threat. Nah, we'll go with the first one. The first one sounds good. Just fill that in or whatever. So my goal will be discover an ancient forgotten spell or magical artifact, revolutionizing the practice of magic. Sounds like a good goal to me. So then I have to pick out 3 talents. Oh boy, we got a lot of them. A lot of cool ones too. Quickly, at least, I'll read through the title of each of them. We have Arcane Bolt, Elemental Shield, Telekinesis, Dispel Magic, Blink, Wave Reality, Inferno Cascade, Soul Link, Time Dilation, and Phasing. You know, your classic spells. Interesting. Ooh, Inferno Cascade. See, that's like a multicast. That might be good. Phasing seems pretty helpful. Elemental Shield seems good. Telekinesis seems good. Blink seems good. I can only choose 3. Oh man, it all seems so good. I feel like I kind of need to like get like kind of different categories. Like I need like an attacking one, a defense one, and like a utility one. Even utility, like it would be like telekinesis or blink. It should be more helpful. They would both be good. You know, telekinesis makes stuff float. Move an object or creature near you weighing up to your own weight without touching it. Whoa. Or teleport yourself to any location you can see. Both seem good. Both seem real good. I'm gonna go with blink. I think that's got to be really helpful. So I can teleport. That's a good start. I think for my attacking ability, Reef Reality is pretty cool, but I don't know if that's really super helpful. Soul Link, Forge a Temporary Magical Bond. Oh, that's interesting. I think I probably will take the Elemental Shield, just because having some defensive moves seems like a good idea, especially because I'm a magic user, so I'm going to be naturally a bit more of a glass cannon. You know, I don't have as much health. That's how it goes. So we got Elemental Shield, Blink, and now we want some attacking ability, which I'm really, I mean, there's kind of, I guess, just only 2 main ones, Arcane Bolt or Inferno Cascade, which I think I'm going to go with Inferno Cascade, mainly because it looks like I could target multiple targets with it, which could be helpful. The Arcane Bolt. Yeah, we'll go with the Inferno Cascade, sure. All right, so talents have been picked out. I got Elemental Shield, Blink, and Inferno Cascade. So sweet. Got my 1 goal, 3 talents, and now I need 2 relics to pick out. My different options include, let's see, we got the Arcanist Scepter, the Mesmerizing Orb, the Chronal Pendant, the Ruined Grimoire, the Crystal Clarity, the Robes of Adept, Mage's Tether, and the Elemental Bracelet. I'm gonna quickly skim through these and see which ones I want to grab. So the Rune Grimoire, I think I'll grab. It says it's a tome filled with ancient runes that unlocked hidden knowledge, so I get +1 to decipher magical writings or arcane lore. Seems pretty helpful. So I will grab that. And then I get 1 more. I kind of like the Arcanist Scepter. It's a scepter that amplifies the wielder's magical violence, so I just get +1 to cast offensive or harmful spells. And I think that sounds pretty good. So I have Arcanist's Scepter and Ruined Grimoire. I think that's it, right? I signed my 4 points, got my goal, my 3 talents, my 2 relics. I wrote my HP and EP. Yeah, that's it. So character creation, honestly, in this game, is pretty easy. And yeah, normally I think with this piece, with this printout, you can kind of sketch your character here. Or normally there's another version of the printout that has the really nice artwork here, which don't know, I'm low on printer ink with colored ink, so I didn't want to like print it out, but it looks nice. And yeah, as you can see here, I guess I never really talked about this, but this main side of the character sheet, this side has all your actual stuff, and then on this side you have a pretty nice little rules reference of some of the main stuff going on in the game. So pretty sweet. And with that, so we're a little over an hour in. We're actually ready to pretty much get started playing. So fun stuff. Got all my oracles and whatnot here, all my different tables, all the random tables I printed out. Those I do print out because they're helpful to flip through. So we have Tydaris, the spell weaver, whose goal is to discover an ancient forgotten spell or magical artifact, revolutionizing the practice of magic. Her talents are Elemental Shield, Blink, and Inferno Cascade, and she carries the Arcanist Scepter and the Ruined Grimoire. Awesome. So let's figure out first island I'm going to. I'll just grab this first map here. And I think it will be this island here. See how much I can actually get it in shot here. I need to move some of this stuff down a little bit. There we go. This is the Island of Stars. So this will be the first island we roll up to and visit. Cool. So with coming to the island, I guess I'm already kind of done with my like rules explanation, but I guess one thing I do want to quickly mention is that this, because it kind of talked about it earlier, this game uses the idea of scenes to kind of structure how the game works. You know, you have a different adversary each scene you're dealing with, stuff like that. You know, each island might be 3 to 5 scenes, maybe more, maybe less, probably not less than that, but probably more. It was one of the main reasons I am going to be using Mythic with this game, is because I said I was only using the fate chart, which is true. The only other thing I am going to be swiping from Mythic to use for this playthrough is the chaos factor, because I mean, I am using the fate chart, which does incorporate the chaos factor, and this game uses scenes, so I will be incorporating that kind of, as I write my scene name, I'll write the current chaos factor and kind of keep track of that. I don't think I'm going to roll against the chaos factor and like generate like see if the scene's altered or expected. Maybe I will, but I mainly just plan on using the fate chart, and so I want to kind of have chaos factor to kind of go with it. So then sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder, all that good stuff. So scene 1, we start out with a chaos factor of 5, and it's arrive at, so this is the Island of Stars. I imagine, I mean, I guess it kind of depends where we come from, but it seems like this Inge field, INGE field, Inge field, is pretty much the only coastal location. So I imagine that's probably the first one I see. That's probably the one I land at. So let me write that down. I also have a little bit of a cheat sheet here, the island phase on the different stuff to do. So arrive at I should note, like these maps normally would look a little bit nicer if I actually print them out in color. You know, maybe the forest would actually look green and the water blue and all that stuff. But you get the general gist, hopefully, with the one I print out. And I got to be honest, though. I mean, I do really like the site that they suggested, and I'm probably gonna use it a lot more in the future. Because one thing I've come to realize, at least about myself when playing RPGs, is that I do tend to find having a map to be something I really enjoy. It doesn't have to be a very specific map. I don't need town maps and battle maps, but I do like having a world map or like a region map to kind of know what's kind of going on. So having something like this, even if it's just very, this doesn't have too much going on it, but it has, some nice locations and terrain and whatnot going on. At least enough to add to whatever we're going to be doing in this. So scene 1, chaos factor 5, arrive at Ingefield on Islands of Stars, which is this location here. I have a little blue cube that I'll maybe just kind of track my character with. So we roll up at this place. So the first thing to do is there is an oracle number 3, to roll a couple of island descriptors. So let's see what this island looks like as we roll up to it. So 66. So it is windswept. Okay. Let me start writing these on. The island description is wind swept, which I'll be honest, I've never heard that term before. I mean, I guess I understand what it means, but never heard of something being described as windswept. What else we got? 11, it's ancient. And let's maybe get one more word. So it's an older place that's where they have heavy winds around here if it's windswept. Man, all of these are really doubles. I rolled 66, 11, and now I rolled 55. That's crazy. Sprawling. Okay, so this first place is kind of big, or maybe not even necessarily big, but sprawling, very spread out. Yeah, so what's next? The name of the island, of course. Island name. Which, once again, there's another little oracle here you can roll on, and that is 42. So the island name is, well, I guess we already have the island name. It's Islands of Stars, so I don't really need to roll that. I'll just write in Islands of Stars. I don't know why I forgot these already generate the name for me, so I don't even have to worry about that. You're always prepared and ready to go. Oh, thank you. I'm the person that writes the weirdest post-it notes as I go and end up writing my character sheets and maps on random scrap paper. Now, I feel that, especially like if I have like a certain character idea, or like, I don't know, I'm like kind of coming up with an idea. Yeah, I'll definitely like do that too. But yeah, I don't know. I like kind of having stuff ready to go, and yeah, I don't know, have stuff nearby. But yeah. So that's, oh, I guess I still need to generate a few more things. We have the island name, island description. It's an ancient, sprawling, windswept place. So then, as I roll to the island, I dock my little ancient boat that's propelling me across this celestial nectar that's connecting all these islands. Someone from this community comes up and greets me, and who is it? It is 64. So I'm gonna get their role on the island. Like, what do they do? Which oracle I need to roll? What did I get? 64. They are the tinker of the island. Okay. So I'm greeted by the tinkerer of the island. Their name is 45. Calathus. Okay. And then what else do I want to roll for them? A couple times on this to get some motivations and a few descriptors. So a motivation about kind of what they're about. So 26 to connect and faction. Okay. So connect and faction. I mean, that seems like, that seems pretty straightforward to me, that this tinkerer here, Calathus, is some sort of maybe not peacemaker, but he's trying to end some feud. He's trying to connect some factions together. So I guess that's kind of what their motivation is. And then we get a quick descriptor or two of kind of just what they look like. we got 45, which is natural. Okay. And 42, magical. Okay, so roll up on this boat to this ancient, sprawling, kind of windswept island. I guess the trees are kind of just like a little bit more flattened and whatnot. It's the Islands of Stars. So I roll up and I'm greeted by, we'll say it's a guy named Calathus, who tells me they're like the town tinker. They kind of look natural and magical. Natural, I'm guessing maybe like a little bit more, not unkept, but that's kind of how I'm envisioning it. And then magical, they're a bit of a tinker, so maybe they have some like magical, cool like bobs and gadgets and whatnot. A little like whatever's. Okay, so we got all that figured out. So the last thing when rolling up to the island to figure out is what the heck's going on the island? What do you need help with? What am I here to solve? So that's that. So there is a really great oracle here that has pretty detailed like examples of what's going on the island. You could do that. You could also roll on this oracle here to get some words for inspiration, to just make up your own like problem with the island. I think for now, at least for this first island, we're gonna just use the table here and have it give me a challenge. Hopefully it's something cool or not super difficult. 31, the infinite staircase. A staircase leading to an unknown destination has appeared in the island, challenging those who ascend it with riddles, trials, and otherworldly visions. You must climb the staircase, overcome the trials, and discover the ultimate purpose of this mysterious structure. Okay. A staircase leading to an unknown destination has appeared in the island, challenging those who ascend it with riddles, trials, and otherworldly visions. You must climb the staircase, overcome the trials, and discover the ultimate purpose of the mysterious structure. Okay, what even? The infinite staircase, okay. So... I mean, it's quite a unique problem to have, I would say. You just have it's also like maybe not the worst problem in the world. Like, I mean, of all things that could be happening to your island, it's on fire, it's flooded or whatever. You just have like a staircase that just goes up or down. It doesn't really say which way it's going. It just is it's leading to an unknown destination. I assume it's probably going up. That's what just makes the most sense to me. Huh. Okay. And then that's that. So we have the island description. We're on the island. We're in Inchfield, in whatever, however you pronounce this settlement. And we have a problem to solve, which is this infinite staircase that takes you to somewhere unknown. It asks you riddles and others. Like, what does it say? It taunts you also? Like, it challenges you with riddles, trials, and otherworldly visions. Interesting. Okay. This, I guess I didn't explicitly mention this earlier, but this game is I think earlier it's described as like a bright fantasy type game. So it's definitely, the other week I played Iron Sworn. That's a dark fantasy. Where, it's not very uplifting, be pretty desolate and dark. But in this game, it's pretty bright and uplifting, and usually not like that bad stuff doesn't happen. Obviously, every island I'm going to, I'm trying to solve a problem, but it's very much more, there's a lot more magic in this game and kind of whimsical stuff. And personally, like, I've been, at least in my head, maybe this is also just because I've been watching a little bit of the show again recently. I've been kind of I've been comparing this game a little bit to like Adventure Time. If you've seen that, like, that's kind of how I'm envisioning this world of like, it's very obviously it's not exactly the same, but kind of like that style of like fantasy where it's very bright and kind of happy and there's all this crazy magic everywhere, and it's, you know, serious stuff can happen and bad stuff can happen, but I mean overall it's pretty upbeat and very colorful and lots of crazy magical creatures and whatnot. So I don't know, that's kind of how I envision this world that I'm in, is that style-ish of a world that's like, I don't know, Adventure Time-esque. Like, obviously it's not like, we're not in the land of Ooh and there's not a candy kingdom, but like, I imagine it's very like that kind of style of a fantasy, rather than like, you know, something like Ironsworn is a lot more, you know, darker, there's not as much magic, it's a lot more kind of serious tones and themes and vibes and whatnot. So yeah. So all right. While I'm in Ingefield, I can also ask the villagers and I guess Calathus about the staircase and see what I can figure out. Hello there, Blorio. Your insomnia is back. Oh jeez, that's not good. Sorry to hear about that. What time is it for you right now? I'm guessing it's probably pretty late. I don't know. I think I'm trying to remember what you said last time you came to my stream. It was, I don't know, like 2 a.m. Is that right? I don't know. Time zones are crazy though. So what do I want to ask about the staircase problem? So I guess let me confirm something. Is the staircase going up? Because I think it is. I think that's what makes the most sense. But it doesn't explicitly state it. I'm gonna ask Mythic, is the staircase going up? I'm gonna say it's very likely. I rolled a d12 for some reason. But regardless, yes. Okay, the staircase is going up rather than down, so that's good to know. So this guy, whoever I'm talking with is Tinkerer, so they know their way around like kind of weird stuff. I guess they're telling me about this issue, so they're fairly familiar with it. My question to them, do they have any idea of, excuse me, what would have caused the staircase to just appear? Man, got the hiccups. Because yeah, it's kind of weird. The staircase just appears. So do they have any inclination at all on what's going on with the staircase? I'm going to go with very unlikely, because I don't think they have any idea what's going on. But let's see. Do they have any idea? I rolled a 52. Very unlikely. That is a no. They don't know what's going on. That's fine. Okay, so this staircase just appeared. Where did it appear at? That's another question. Oh, it is 2:30. Dang, that is late / early, I guess, you know, if you're talking the next day, but it's late. Man, oh man. I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, hopefully it gets better soon, but yeah, that sucks. Sleep is yeah, it's gotta be a pain to deal with that, because I can't imagine running on like not a lot of sleep. If I get less than like, I don't know, 6 hours, then I'm just dead. Okay, so they maybe. So I'm just gonna write down that they don't know what caused staircase to appear. I guess my last question to Mythic, am I gonna have to travel to this staircase, or is it just like in the town? Is it like across the island over here? Is it in Black Pine Wood? Or is it in Ingefield? So I guess maybe I should ask first, is it in this town? And then I can start trying to figure out where exactly it is. Is it, so I'll ask first, is it in the town I'm in? Which I'm gonna say is unlikely. So no, it's not in the town I'm in. Is it in any town, or is it just like in the middle of nowhere? So is it in a settlement here? I didn't even give that an odds. I'll go 50-50, which in 89 is a no. So it's not in a settlement. Okay. So there's like Western Range Mountain. Is it in the Western Range Mountains? I'm gonna go 50-50 again. Nope. Okay. Is it at... I don't even know. I'm starting to run out of locations. I'm trying to think of other questions I could ask about where the staircase appeared. Is it close by? And maybe I'll say likely. I don't know. Yes, it's super close by. Yeah, that was an extreme yes, I think. So, was it though? Wait. Yeah, that was an extreme yes. Okay. So it is close by, and it's not in the settlement. So I imagine it's just, we'll say it's somewhere like in this little plains area nearby. Okay. And let me go back to this description, because I'm gonna need like a little bit more. I'm gonna read through this one more time. You must climb the staircase, overcome the trials, discover the ultimate purpose of this mysterious staircase structure. Why is there a random staircase in the middle of this grassland, I guess, outside of this place? Weird stuff. Okay, so let me get rid of my little note card here, because I don't really need that anymore. That was only for island creation, which is done at this point. Got that all out of the way. Take a quick sip here. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to do in this settlement before leaving. So I've talked with the Tinkerer. They don't know what's going on with the staircase. They're the one that came to me, so I assume they're probably the ones that know the most about it. But maybe I'll still, on the off chance, I'll ask. So they don't know anything about the staircase. Do they happen to know someone who might know about the staircase? Because that would be helpful. If they knew someone else that knew about the staircase, that would be good. 6 hours seems pretty good to me. You can then sleep in the transport during the day. 5, it's just bad. Even 4 feels better. Even 4 feels better. But yeah, no, 6 is kind of like my minimum. I mean, I'd say most nights I get like 7 hours of sleep, maybe 7.5. But yeah, 6, like if I don't get at least 6, then I'm not much of I don't take many naps, but I feel like if I were to get less than 6, then I'd be having to take a nap at some point to really try to catch up on my sleep. Yeah, I don't like naps because I feel like it just messes up my sleep schedule, and sometimes you just like wake up from feeling like worse than you did beforehand. So it's just like, it's sometimes a risk, and like sometimes for naps, like I'll fall asleep immediately, or sometimes I won't like fall asleep at all, and it's just like, I don't know. It just depends for me. But yeah. All right. So yeah, I think is there someone because it said in this about the staircase that someone has. I imagine this also isn't going to be a very long quest. I'll just say that much. Like compared to these other islands, I think this is going to be a bit of a shorter one. But we'll see how crazy this. I mean, it's an infinite staircase, so I mean, theoretically, if it's infinite, this session's never going to end. This live stream's never going to end, and it could be. This live stream could be still going right now in the future. Probably isn't, but it could be. It's infinite. So then I guess my question to Mythic, is there someone in the village I can talk to that's climbed this ladder and would be able to give me more information about it? I'm going to go with very likely. It's a 19, which is a yes. There is someone in the village I could talk to who has at least attempted to climb this, and that would be able to tell me a little bit more. Great. Glad that there's someone that's a little bit more helpful around here. So let me get a name for this person real fast as I just throwing dice at this point. Whoops. Okay, so their name is 46. That's a good name. Their name is Reuven. Okay. So okay, so we have someone in the village that has tried to climb this infinite staircase. I mean, my main question to them is, like, what? Because obviously I know then there's going to be riddles and visions and some weird stuff going on this staircase. What else? Overcome trials. So I kind of want to ask Reuven. The main thing I want to know is like, okay, so I have a general idea of what's going on. Like, what did they encounter? Or I guess what was it that made them stop and turn around? Because obviously they didn't climb the staircase, and because it's infinite, supposedly. Maybe it's not actually infinite. They just think it is. But yeah, let me maybe roll some just random words. See what I get. 22 break and 11 is ally. Break ally. Well, I think that's pretty self-explanatory, right? I ask them why they stopped going up the staircase. I get back break ally. I think to me that means they went along with somebody and that somebody got really messed up. Either they like straight up died or got really physically injured or maybe like mentally scarred from these like otherworldly visions and whatever else is going on the staircase. Did they die? I'm gonna go with unlikely. I don't think they died, but maybe they did. What did I say? Unlikely? Yeah, they died. Mythic said they died, so they died. Okay. I'm glad I have a 24-hour shawarma place near me. Ooh, okay, that's nice. We save somewhere to wander in the middle of the night. I mean, there is something nice about like, I don't know, like obviously being up in the middle of the night isn't great, especially if you're like trying to sleep, like in your case, like, but there's also like something kind of nice about being up like in the middle of the night, especially like when it's super late out and it's just like super quiet, especially if you're like out walking around. Like, well, I imagine it's not the most ideal. I imagine there's a certain amount of bliss and kind of niceness that comes with that. Maybe it's just SCP-087. Can't say I'm too familiar with that one. What's SCP-087? Is it an infinite staircase that challenges adventurers? Because if so, then that's definitely it. Okay. Oh, it is an infinite staircase. Okay. Well, yeah, that sounds about right then. So Reuven's partner got killed. That's pretty rough from a staircase. I guess my question is like, was this something the staircase did? Or because like people can die like, and it's not the thing's fault. Like someone could have like a heart attack on a plane, right? And it's like, well, they died on a plane, but it's not like the plane killed them. It was just they happened to be there. So was it like was it like Reuven's partner was like up on the staircase, they like accidentally tripped and then they fell down or something, so it wasn't even really the staircase's fault? I don't think that's the case, but I kind of want to ask. So I'm going to go with very unlikely, but what, like, Reuven's friend that got killed, I guess, like, did they kind of do it to themselves, or was it actually the staircases? So I guess let me flip the question. I'll ask, was it the staircase that actually killed Reuven's adventuring companion? I'm gonna go with very likely. That was a 0-3, which is a exceptional yes. So they're like, absolutely, it was the staircase. It wasn't just like him, it's like tripping over his shoelace and then like taking a tumble down the stairs. Like, no, this dude, this dude died from this staircase. Interesting. I guess I do want to know, like, how did he die? Like, was it physically? Like, was it like the staircase? Like, what kind of staircase is this? Was it like a staircase that like, did it like physically kill them? Or was it like their brain got so like messed up with weird visions that they just like shut down or something? Like, were they physically killed is my question. I'm gonna go with likely that they were physically killed. 38 is a yes. So okay, so we're talking with Reuven. They tell me they have been to the staircase. They didn't go all the way up because part of the way up, their adventuring companion that they were with got killed, physically killed by the staircase. Maybe I don't know how it killed him. Just like one of the stairs opened up, just like a mimic, just like a jaw just clamped down on like one of their legs, and then they were just dead from pretty much that point on. Some sort of floating face. That's SCP stuff is weird. I'm not super familiar with a lot of it. I mean, I know the general like concept of it and some of the like more popular ones, but interesting. I might have to look into that after that because I didn't realize there was an SCP for that. But okay, so I think we have enough info to get to the staircase and figure out what's going on with it. So let's go to the next scene as we make our way out of the town to this staircase. So it's a new scene. Since I am using Mythic, I will quickly adjust the chaos ranking. Was I in control of that scene? I would say for the most part, yeah, there wasn't really too much I did. I just landed at the island, asked some questions, got some answers, bada bing, bada boom. I would say a chaos ranking of 4 seems pretty good to me, but who knows? So then, yeah, I guess my scene 2 is to travel to the staircase. Maybe there will be something I have to encounter along the way. Yeah, I don't know. Does tripping over a step count as death due to stairs? See, that's what I was asking earlier. I had to ask Mythic that question because I was like, did like this person die because they like did something like that, like tripped, or was it like the staircase actually killed them? At least according to Mythic, the staircase actually killed them. It wasn't like they just tripped and fell. Like the staircase physically killed them. It wasn't even like mentally, like they just like gave them really weird images that just like broke them or something. Like it physically somehow just killed this person, I guess. Okay, I'm kind of scared to go to the staircase. So, okay. I kind of wander towards this little plain area where the staircase is. Let's roll a d6 to see maybe on the way to the staircase what kind of adversary I have to overcome. Because I imagine there's something, though it's right outside of town, I imagine there's something I gotta do. Either like I'll have to cross some crazy terrain, or maybe there'll be some creature I'll have to fight along the way. So that's a 2. A 2 is a challenge, so I have to do some sort of skill challenge. Let's see, there are some like a table of challenges that I can roll on, and I could do that. Maybe, I don't know if I will though. Oh, scene framing, I should do that too because that's pretty cool stuff. What else do I need to do for that? Scene framing, you roll an 8 once or twice, and then Oracle 2 once or twice. Okay. Oh, Streamlabs says hydrate. I'll hydrate. Maybe the ladder tripped him up. Maybe. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the staircase, but apparently it's magical. It says riddles and proposes trials and can somehow like impose visions on people. Like, I don't know what's going on with the staircase, but okay. So there's also this really cool little table here called scene framing, where you roll a couple d6 and they just give you an idea of how you can envision the scene that you're going through. So instead of just envisioning, you know, your normal character doing a thing, walking a place, like this will say, for example, 1-4 is a nearby conversation or interaction. So maybe I'll just write that below here. Scene framing. And we roll maybe once more just to get another scene framing thing. 25, interesting piece of clothing or accessory. And finally, let's get a couple of, just add a couple of extra descriptors to the scene if you really want to. It's like 1-4 broken and 61 strong. Yeah, it doesn't, I think we got enough descriptors for this scene. So trip them up with like a remote control rock. I mean, maybe that could also be a thing. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'll get tripped up by a remote control rock. Hopefully not. Okay, so I'm traveling to the staircase as I leave Inchfield or whatever. The town's pretty active, so as I'm walking out of town, I can, you know, make out certain conversations from the town behind me and overhear a conversation of maybe a local farmer talking to somebody, maybe his farm help in the field, you know, yelling at him like, "Oh, you're not planting those carrots, right?" Something like that. I don't know. And I guess like the scene as we're like following, I forgot my own character's name, Tidaris, out of the settlement, kind of zoom in on her. Let's see, what do I got? Maybe her Arcanist scepter that she's holding, her pretty cool relic, kind of just as it's glistening off of the sun as she makes her way out of town towards where the staircase is supposed to be. But I guess in the process of getting there, there's some challenge that she's going to have to overcome. So let's see. So yeah, let's maybe just roll on the challenge table. I'm curious what it'll give me. We can always come up with our own, especially this first table right here. Just roll like a verb and a noun, and boom, you got something to go off of. It may not be perfect. You might have to re-roll, but here we go. Some challenge. Okay, so let's just roll 2 dice, 31. So it says the impassable chasm in the shattered caverns. The impassable chasm. Well, it's got to be passable if I'm going to pass it. So, okay. So I guess I'll jot that down here. And real quick, let me go back to that real fast. I shouldn't have flipped away from it. I'm such an idiot. That was a CR of 8. Cool. So we have our first challenge of the game as Tidaris is making her way out of the settlement, hearing the conversations behind her, holding her scepter she has, making her way to where the supposed staircase is, which is she's making her way towards. But what no one mentioned at all was there was a giant ass chasm that's like in the way between where she's supposed to go and where she is. It's just this giant impassable chasm in the ground. So now she needs to figure out how to get across it, get it past it. I do have my blink spell, which seems like it would be really useful. Because I imagine if I could see across the chasm, I could just blink across it, and then that's that. I don't know how that would work though, because normally challenges you have to like roll to beat stuff, and Like that wouldn't I don't think work. I'd maybe have to roll for Aether and then I don't know how that would work, because my blink is just teleport yourself to any location you can see. If I could see across the chasm, I shouldn't even need to really do any checks. I should just be able to teleport. There's no checks. Yeah, there's no checks to even make for the blink. I just do it. I would spend 4 energy points, but I would just do it. I wonder if it says anything in here about overcoming challenges without actually doing the challenges. Because I kind of just want to like overcome the challenge without actually like, but basically without actually doing the challenge. Let me double check. I don't think it says anything in here about that. Yeah, nothing really. Okay, that's fine. Not a huge deal. So I guess I can't just blink across. So maybe I'll use light, because that's like knowledge, wisdom, and whatnot. And what I'll try to do is just look around and try to find either it's an impassable chasm, but only, I mean, maybe there's some bridge somewhere, a rope, or either I'm looking for either a way across or the best way across possible. So it's like maybe there's parts of the chasm that are wider than others, so I'm trying to find a more narrow part. So if I'm trying to like jump or blink across or whatever, like I have the shortest gap to cover, ideally, is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to use light, use that as my way that I'll be rolling with, and I will do a challenge roll. So I guess I only need a single d6 here. I'll be adding my light, which is +3, so that is a total of 8, which is the challenge rating. So I beat it on the first try, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, like, oh, this chasm looks pretty impassable. I'm like, well, let me see if I can find a way around it. And maybe I just straight up find a way around it. Like I'm like, okay, well, this chasm does look pretty impassable. Like, it looks pretty wide. Definitely, I probably couldn't jump or whatever. So I'm like, let me just try to like walk around it. And I guess I just find a way around it, because I was an 8, and that's all I needed was an 8. So that's passable chasm has been passed. And hopefully we make our way to the staircase, which I imagine we do after we cross the chasm into this open field area. I imagine it's probably not too hard to see. So we roll up to the staircase. So yeah, I guess there's probably not too much else to do for this scene. I guess we could just, it's a shorter scene. That's fine. I kind of wanted to like add more stuff to the scene, but we don't have to. We could just have short scenes. That's fine. Was my character in control that last scene? Wasn't much that happened. But overall, yes. We did come across an impassable chasm, but then we passed it. So that seems pretty in control to me. We'll bump down the chaos ranking, I think. At least for now. It'll probably swing the other way here soon. So then, yeah, it's just, my scene 3 is going to be approach and climb staircase. Because I imagine there might be some like something, creature, whatever, guarding this. I don't know for sure if there's anything even at the bottom, but there could be. So let's ask Mythic. Is there any like I guess I could just roll a d6 to see what kind of adversary I have to fight, and if it's a combat, we'll say it is. That's a 5. 5 is a combat. So yeah, we'll say that there's something kind of at the base of the stairs. Either directly guarding it, maybe indirectly. I don't know. We'll see what I roll, and then I'll go from there. So a 6-1. Like I said, you can come up with your own enemies and whatnot. I could have, I could just make up the staircase people, and they're like little mini staircases, and that they're gonna attack me and whatnot. But like, you come up with your own health and skill level and powers. And that's the nice thing, is like there's no like stat box. You have your health, your skill, which are both just 2 single numbers, and then you have your power, which is like the only thing you would have to actually make for like a enemy, and it's like you can make it as simple or whatever as you want it to be. So I guess this is literally the last page. I need to go to all the way to the back. So I'm going to be fighting a gravity-defying lemur. Okay. So I guess we're doing some combat against a gravity-defying lemur. All right, good stuff. It has a skill level of +1, so not too difficult, and 4 HP. So if I sneeze on it, it will die. Okay, this should be pretty easy. So I cross this chasm, kind of find my way around it. Pretty open field area. I see the staircase. As I start to approach the staircase, this gravity-defying lemur just appears out of nowhere, just gravity-defying and all that stuff. It has a special ability, weightless whirl, to create a mini vortex. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I guess I can keep that on this page. So gravity-defying lemur. Let's roll initiative. So I'm going to be the white dice. So I rolled higher, which means I get to go first. Great. So I'm going to attack. But what are we going to attack with? I guess probably my Inferno Cascade. So one thing I'm not 100% sure about with the rules for this, which I think I understand the rules for this game pretty good, and I have, hopefully I'm not making too many rules mistakes. The one thing I'm not sure about is talents. And the one thing that I get kind of confused about, and I was running into this issue when I was playing before, is because on your turn, you can make a basic move, like a basic roll, and you could do a talent. But a lot of these talents, for example, like I don't have Arcane Bolt, but let's just say I had Arcane Bolt. It says fire a bolt of magical energy with a +3 bonus to your roll. I assume, this is me assuming, I assume if I were to use Arcane Bolt, that's me using a talent. I make an attack roll for that talent with that roll, because that's what it makes it sound like. You fire a magical bolt with a +3 roll. So as a part of the talent, I do an attack. But then on my turn, I still have one of my basic rolls to do. So I could attack again and do a basic attack, not a talent. That's how I understand it. I could be reading it wrong. And the talents don't actually give you an extra move. They only, excuse me, the talents might only just apply the bonus to the roll you're doing later in your turn. There's one thing I'm not 100% sure about. Excuse me. The wording here just makes it a little unclear. My interpretation is, as I do a talent, some of these do let me do an attack with the talent itself. That could be wrong. I'll maybe make a note of it in the comments if it's completely wrong, but that's how I'm interpreting it. So for example, like this Inferno Cascade, it says, ignite a torrent of searing flames that engulfs targets near you with a +2 bonus to the attack roll. Like, to me, that sounds like part of the talent is doing the ignite and doing that magic attack. And then I would also get a normal attack with just not doing any talents. Once again, double check the comments if you're watching this later in the future, because I'm not 100% sure if that's how you're supposed to do it. But that's how I interpret it, so that's how we're going to be doing it. Cool. Okay. I mean, I'll triple check the rules, but like I'm sure I looked before and I don't remember seeing anything. And it might have just been me like missing a certain section or whatever. I mean, there's not much on talents, and they only talk about giving you a bonus and not lot of them don't, like, they don't mention doing an actual, like, action or an extra roll as part of the talent. So I don't know. Maybe you don't. Because a lot of these, like, are pretty, like, time dilation says, like, receive a +2 bonus on your upcoming roll. So that one, I would assume you don't get a roll with, because there's no roll to make. But blink, okay, that one's a bad example. But yeah, like the arcane bolt, firebolt of magical energy with a +3 bonus to your roll. So I would take that as part of the talent. You make a roll, and then you can do another thing for your combat. So once again, sorry, bit of a tangent, but that was like one of the rules things that I was getting caught up on, and I still haven't quite figured out. And maybe I'll have to get some clarification on that because I'm not too sure. But yeah, so that's that. Get some water, man, in my throat. All right. So, interpreting it like I do, I'm going to cast Inferno Cascade on this gravity-defying lemur as I see this crazy thing coming at me as I'm trying to get to the staircase. I don't think it's necessarily... I don't think it's guarding the staircase. Like, I don't think this lemur was... I don't think it was, like, hired or being controlled by the staircase. I think it just happened to be in the area. And it's an angry, gravity-defying lemur that I gotta fight now to get to this infinite staircase, obviously, as you do in any magical island. So, it's just typical magical island stuff, you know? Fighting gravity-defying lemurs to get to infinite staircases that apparently kill people and pose riddles. It's just, that's Nexalis for you, man. So, I'll get a +2 bonus to the attack roll. And because of my relic, I get another +1 bonus. So that's a +3 bonus. So yeah. So actually, you know what? I don't know. I know what's going on about, I don't know exactly how these talent things work. I think how I'm going to play it for the time being is kind of not, it's not how I talk. I'm going to assume talents just provide you a mechanical bonus. They don't give you an actual action. You get one roll per turn to do a thing, and the talents can just benefit that. That's how I'm going to play it. I don't know for sure, once again, if that's right, but I'm just going to move forward. So I cast Inferno Cascade, and that lights this lemur on fire. So then let me make my roll to do that. So I get basically +3, and if I'm using Aether, that's 4. So I get +1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total to add to my roll. This lemur is going to go up in a ball of flames so fast. Let's see. So I add 7 to my roll. It adds 1. We both rolled 6s. So I could split that if I wanted to. I don't really want to, though. Because here's what's happened. So I add 7 to my roll. So I have 13. They have 7. So the difference between... So first off, that is a successful hit. I rolled above their defense score. So I will inflict damage. I inflict damage equal to the difference. Difference between 7 and 13 is 6. So I deal 6 damage to him. And this lemur only had 4 HP. So yeah, I Inferno Blast them to an actual just a pile of ash as they're dead. And maybe, you know what, since they're a gravity-defying lemur, I guess like they go into a ball of smoke and then smoke goes downwards. It's just gravity-defying. The ash goes, it flies up in the sky. So wait, the smoke goes down. So like a puff of smoke, and then the ash just falls upwards into the sky, I guess. It's gravity-defying. So yeah, something like that happens. So poof, smoke goes down, and ash just goes up into the sky as this lemur doesn't even get a chance to really attack and do its cool weightless whirl. Cool. All right, lemur's done for, and we're on our way to actually climbing the staircase. Okay, so begin slowly climbing the staircase, and I don't even know how to handle this, because like, okay, well, I don't even know what's going on with this staircase. It's a fun little like challenge thing, but it's pretty open-ended. So the staircase challenges those who ascend it with riddles, trials, and otherworldly visions. You must climb the staircase, overcome the trials, and discover the ultimate purpose. Okay, so I'm at the staircase, climbing the staircase. So now I need to overcome some riddles, trials, and then figure out what's going on. So I'm trying to think of the best way to do this, because I was going to say me climbing the staircase could be, because there's a lot of ways you can do this. This was cool. So because you want to use the 3 main types of adversaries, and what's cool is you can do a lot of them at the same time and kind of overlap them, which is pretty cool. It would be cool. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. So we'll say, okay, so I start climbing the staircase, because I kind of want to just incorporate some different challenges into this. So the first thing, let's just say it probably starts out pretty easy. So the first thing I get are some riddles. So let's solve some riddles. So that's a challenge. Solve the staircase riddle. There's probably multiples. We'll write riddles. And we'll say this is a challenge of... What was my last challenge? My last challenge was pretty easy. Crossing that chasm, that's only an 8. Let's see, I could make this, what, like a 10 at least? That would be... we'll make it like a 9. Solving the staircases riddle, because this is only the first challenge. I don't want to make this too difficult right off the bat. Yeah, that seems good. So then, okay. So I start climbing the staircase, and I hear this mysterious voice that... And maybe like the stairs in front of me kind of like, it's like, it's a normal staircase, but then maybe in front of me, the stairs magically like go up. So it's not really climbable anymore. Like they kind of collapse in on themselves. So it's just kind of like a wall or something, or like all the stairs like shift up. So it's just like a ramp in front of me. So I can't climb anymore. And then I hear a voice asking me about a riddle, which I have to try to solve. So, okay, when I try to solve this riddle, we have challenge as a challenge ranking of 9. And I'm going to try to solve this dang riddle. I don't think my Ruined Grimoire technically helps. My Ruined Grimoire gives me +1 to decipher magical writings or arcane lore. Depending on the riddle, I think an argument could be made that I could use my Ruined Grimoire here in this situation to give me a bit of a bonus, but I don't really think so. I think that's a bit of a stretch, so I just won't. So I figure out which way I'm going to use, which if I'm trying to solve a riddle, that's going to be light. That's like knowledge, wisdom, stuff like that. So let's see what I get. So I add +3 to this roll. That's a 6. Whoa, we got it on the first try. So maybe it's like this the staircase starts hitting me with a riddle, and then it's like before they even get done with the riddle, I like know the question. The staircase is like the staircase is something like, a man got in a car accident and was brought to the local hospital, and it starts going on this thing about, oh, but I can't operate on my son. Well, how could that be? And this whole riddle about this son getting operated on, but I can't operate on my son. And I'm like, oh, it's because it's like the doctor is the patient's mom or whatever. It's not, because like it makes you think it's the dad, but it's the mom. And yeah, I like the idea that the staircase just starts like putting out this elaborate riddle, and I'm like, yeah, I've heard that one before, man. You gotta try harder. And I like solve it like instantly. And that's a challenge, I guess, overcome as we solve the staircase riddle, and I continue making my way up the infinite staircase. So then, okay, I have solved the riddle. So that's the kind of the first challenge, I imagine. Next, I feel like the staircase at this point. So it starts out pretty easy with a nice little riddle. Now I feel like it's like, okay, you know, you got past the first task. Good luck with the next one. So I think I'm gonna have to do some combat. That the staircase is like spawning some creature on the staircase ahead of me that I'm gonna have to fight to continue. 62. Is that not what I just had? I had 61 last time, didn't I? Yeah. What? I have to fight a blade dancer? What the heck is a blade dancer? Like, is it just like a person that dances with blades? Or is this like, I don't know, like a creature or like something like that? Yeah, I don't know what a blade dancer is. I'm kind of imagining like I don't know why, but I keep imagining the Pokemon Garchomp because he has those big like scythe blade hands. I'm imagining like a creature like that, like not like a human holding blades, but like some creature that has these big like claw like things, blades that I'm gonna have to fight. So okay, new challenge, or I guess sorry, a new adversary is this combat against a blade dancer. You know what? We'll say this isn't really gonna change anything, just flavor wise. There's 4 of them. There's 4 blade dancers. And there's 4 of them. And so they have a skill level of +3. So they're definitely above average difficulty of an opponent. And then their HP starts at 8, which is double what the lemur had. So maybe we'll have a bit more of a fight. So now we roll for initiative. And they go first. All right, so these blade dancer creatures are in front of me. I imagine these steps aren't very wide, so I don't know how big these creatures are, but I imagine at most there's like 2 of them to a step. So there's like 2 of them and 2 of them. So I imagine one of the ones in front reaches out with its blade and is trying to slash at me, basically. Okay, so I guess in combat, we haven't done this yet, but I have to defend now. So defending works pretty similar to attacking. You choose how you want to defend. So I think I'm going to use magic and try to do some sort of magic like shield type thing to kind of block away this blade that's coming at me, I guess. Dancing swordman, nothing supernatural. That's true. Yeah, if it's just a guy with a sword, it's nothing too crazy. Hey there, Katie K. Happy Sunday to you too. How's it going? Hope your Sunday's doing pretty good. Appreciate you stopping by. Currently, my adventure here is on the middle of an infinite staircase. We just got posed some riddles, which we solved, and I'm now fighting a couple blade dancer creatures. So I don't know how long I'll be climbing this infinite staircase. Maybe forever, if it really is infinite. But guess we'll see. So did I already roll these? I don't think I did. But yeah, I'm gonna block with Aether, which I'll add whatever that is, +4 to my thing, and they'll attack. So they add their skill level to theirs. So I have 7 total for my thing, and they have 5 total for theirs because they add 3. So their attack does not land. I mean, I can either choose that it completely misses and it's my turn, or I could deal damage and then the enemy goes again. We'll just say they miss. Yeah, we'll just say, or that it was blocked, I guess, because I like the idea that since I'm using Aether, I'm using kind of magic. This blade just kind of comes swinging at me, and I quickly at the last second like put up some like magic shield that just kind of blocks the damage off of me. And then it's my turn. Cool. Great. Fantastic. So I'm just seeing what I want to do. I could have done my elemental shield. Well, I guess I didn't have initiative, so I couldn't have. I will attack using my Inferno Cascade again. It is 1 energy per target, but there's 4 targets, but I think I'm only gonna attack 2 of them. Like I'm only gonna target 2 of them for now. So I think it's just for this next roll. See, I don't know how that would work. I'm a little confused about that. So I'll just spend 1 point for now and just attack the one that attacked me, because screw that guy. Are you enjoying this game? Yes. Yeah, definitely. It's different. And I mean that in a good way, because there's a lot of things I like about this game. I like that it's like a bright fantasy, you know, in comparison to when I was playing 2 weeks ago, Ironsworn. You know, it's a pretty dark fantasy, pretty serious and kind of, you know, not super fun. While this is a very bright fantasy, kind of uplifting game. I like the idea that you kind of go to an island, you do the thing on the island, and then you go to a next island. That it's very kind of almost like episodic. Like you could, if you were to play this with other people, like you could basically just make each session like an island. Like at the beginning of the session, you roll up at the island, you do that. And maybe it wouldn't always work out like that, but yeah. So there's a lot of, I like the playbooks. I think there are a couple of small rule confusions to me. And this PDF, this game is still a work in progress. I think this is the playtest version is what I have. So rules will be updated here as time goes. But yeah, no, for the most part, I think it's a really fun game. There's lots of great little tables for different cool creatures and contests and challenges and whatnot. I think the other thing I like though is it's got a lot of cool things. I like how it has the relics you start with. The talents are cool. I do like the different main ways that you have to overcome challenges. The different adversaries in this is pretty cool. Because you have combat, you know, it's a fantasy adventure. You're going to be fighting stuff. You have your challenge rolls, your kind of skill checks, and then the contests, which I really like the contest rolls. I feel like those aren't something that I really get to do a whole lot in RPGs. And I feel like this game does them pretty well. It has a good system for it, whether it's like you're chasing someone down or trying to negotiate with somebody, or pretty much like any non-violent contest between 2 people is what you do a contest roll for. And I think, yeah, I like the systems for like the different types of roles and whatnot. So yeah, it's my long-winded way of saying, yeah, I do like this game. I think as of right now, the crowdfunding campaign just ended, I think earlier today, for this game. So I don't know if you can get it at the moment, but here soon, I think in the next week or so, there should be a new itch.io page going up where you will be able to get this game from. So yeah, I think at the moment you might not be able to get it, which is unfortunate timing, but as soon as there is a new link to get this game, I will make sure to put it in the description for anybody that wants to try it out, because I think it's pretty cool. And also the website that I generated the maps will also be in the description. Yeah, but I think it's pretty cool. The only other tool I'm using is Mythic, just for their fate chart, and I guess for like the chaos ranking and whatnot. But yeah, besides that, I haven't really needed any other tools or sources. It's pretty self-contained, which I do like. Besides, you know, the map making stuff also. But yeah, so far, I mean, admittedly, I haven't played too much before today. I've maybe played like 2 to 5 hours of this game, so not a crazy amount, but enough to at least get an idea of the rules and get a character going. And yeah, so I'm still pretty new to it, still getting the hang of it, but overall, I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, good stuff. Sorry for the interruption. No, don't be. I know, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, it's a good game. I definitely would recommend. So yeah. What I totally forget what I was doing. Okay, so did I put my dice back? Oh, it was a 3 against a 5, right? I think I had +2 on him. Now I got distracted where it was. No, I think I did 2 damage. Or no, I blocked, and then I did the Inferno cast on them. And then I haven't rolled for the Inferno. That's right. Okay, so I casted Inferno Cascade on one of the Blade Dancer that just attacked me. And then I'm going to roll to try to attack them. So I'll be adding 2 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because I add my way, because I'm attacking with Aether, doing magic. I add +2 for the Cascade, and then +1 for that. So I add +7 total. That's pretty busted. But they rolled a 6, that's no good. So 7 total for mine, that puts me at a 9, and for them, that puts them at a 9. So I used all my magic for nothing. Not for nothing, but I like light up the Blade Dancer, and they do like kind of, they're on fire for a second, and yeah, I try to attack them, but doesn't seem to really do much. So it's a shame. I guess it's back to their turn. You got Iron Valley and the Broken Cask because of my playthroughs, really. Excited to jump into them soon. Work got pretty busy for a bit. I feel that. Those are good choices. Yeah, Iron Valley, I really enjoy. I think it's a great little game that I definitely want to. Yeah, I think there was a new version again since last time I played, like a 1.2 version, which didn't have, I don't think, as much as the 1.1, but still had new stuff, which I haven't played yet. And there's a couple of Iron Valley stuff I want to do. Broken Cask is pretty great too. It's just such a cool little game that's like, there's nothing else really for that like role of like, oh, you want to run a tavern? Here's a game for it. And I like that you can play it as its own type of thing, or also like plug it into an RPG so you can have a nice filled out tavern with people and stories and whatnot and events, and make your tavern just more lifelike. So I like that for Broken Cask as well. And I know there's a sequel to Broken Cask, which I haven't played yet. It's Broken Cask Societies, I believe, where you're like an adventurer, but I haven't tried that yet because I don't know. The theme doesn't appeal to me as much, because if you're just playing it as an adventurer, like that's a lot of other RPGs, but Broken Cask is the only one where you get to run a cool tavern. I mean, other RPGs, I guess you could, D&D, there's stuff for running taverns, but it's not as fleshed out as Broken Cask. But cool. Hope you have fun with those whenever you get around to playing them. So I'm still fighting these Blade Dancers. They attacked me. I dodged with magic. I attacked them. It did nothing. So now it's back to their turn to attack me again. Let's see if I can dodge out of the way. So I'm going to be dodging with magic again. So I have +4. So I have 6 total. They have 6 total. So it's just another stalemate again. They try to attack me. I magic shield up again. I'm just going to do Infernal Cascade again. I don't even care. To the one that's at least attacking me. I'm gonna try to attack again, so +7 again. Give me a good roll. I just rolled right off the table. Both of them are 2s. They have a 5, I have a 9. So that's 4 damage I get to do to them. There we go. I get to take out half of their damage as maybe I light up and take out, one of the ones in the front. I guess that's probably enough to take out 2. So we'll say maybe I lit up 2 of them with my Infernal Cascade. Okay, and then it's back to them as they try to swing at me again. Maybe this time I'll try to like dodge out of the way with wind. So I'll only add +1. That could be kind of fun. Maybe I should have done that because it's a 6 against a 4. So I'm taking 2 damage. Maybe this is my lesson to only stick to magic. I try to just give my magic a little bit of a break as I try to recharge for a second, but no, just get hit. These stupid Blade Dancer things that just spawned on this infinite staircase in the sky. So okay, I'm gonna try to swing at these guys again. I'm not even gonna do Infernal Cascade. I'm just gonna attack at a +5. Maybe I should have, because that's just another tie again. I got 7, they got 7. Nothing. So they attack me again. This is going a lot of back and forth. Oh, that hurts. So I only have 5. They have 8. So I'm taking 3 more damage. Ouch. I should have done my elemental shield. Dang. Wait, what did I say? Oh, I take 3 damage, so I'm down to 11. Getting so distracted. Yeah, I should do elemental shield. Maybe I will. No. I'll just do my Inferno Cascade again to get another bonus. I'll be down to 19 energy, but that's okay, I think. So again, I add +7 to my roll. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. So they have a 6 total, and I have 11 total. So that's a difference of 5. They only have 4 HP, so that means they are dead. As I do another Inferno Cascade, I light these Blade Dancer things on fire, and they kind of just burn to a crisp on the staircase. And yeah, they are done for. So past the riddle, past their enemies. So now I think it's one of the final challenges of the staircase is past the riddle challenge, past the combat challenge. The other thing that was mentioned in kind of the description of this infinite staircase into the sky was otherworldly visions, which pretty interesting. So otherworldly visions, I'm gonna do a contest because we haven't done a contest yet, and I want to do a contest. So I like the idea that this contest is like this staircase is like projecting these visions into my character's head, and my character is just having troubles like coming to grips with reality and trying to snap out of these visions and try to just like come back to the real world as the staircase is trying to like just keep pushing these like images and thoughts into my head, trying to make me like get all confused, I guess. So that's how I'm gonna make it a contest, is like, you know, them trying to push more visions on me and me trying to like resist and trying to just I don't know, I'm trying to think the words I'm looking for, like trying to just come back to reality is essentially what I'm trying to do. So we'll make that a bit of a contest, kind of a bit of a push and pull between the staircase and I, as I try to remain sane and the staircase is trying to trick me up with all these crazy visions. So maybe we'll make the contest overcome staircases visions. Okay, I like that a lot. That's pretty interesting. So yeah, it's just trying to like project all this crazy stuff in my head. And so the two things for a contest, you have to give starting contest score and a skill level. We'll say the starting contest score is probably just gonna be 0, but then the skill level for the staircase, it's usually +2. We're gonna make them at least a +3. They're at least a plus. This guy, they're a staircase. I was using that like colloquially, but like, yeah, this thing is like pretty powerful, I imagine. So yeah, it's a +3 challenge, our skill ranking, and we'll start at a challenge level of 0. So once again, in a challenge, I win if I get to +6. I lose if I get to -6. After 6 exchanges, if neither of these things have happened, then the winner is determined based on the current challenge score. So, okay. So I need to try to figure out how I'm going to overcome these visions that are just being like, just bombarded into my head. And I need to try to remain sane on the staircase, this infinite staircase. So I'm going to... Maybe I'll go with my magic and spirituality to try to figure out like some being bombarded with these visions, like trying to just maybe do some sort of counter spell to like just if not just stop the visions, at least like slow them down, maybe like minimize them, dilute them, whatever you want, just to make them less intense, I guess is what I'm going for. So yeah, I will roll plus Aether, which I guess I would add 4 and compare it to the skill ranking. All right, let's do a bit of a challenge roll. I rolled a 6, let's go. So that is a 10 score. I have a 10 and they only have a 5. So that is a difference of 5. So since I I win that challenge. Then I add the difference, which 5 and 10, the difference is 5. I add that to the contest score. So I'm already 1 point away from winning because I only need it to be at +6 and it's already at +5. So yeah, as the staircase just starts bombarding me with visions, I try to like cast like a counter spell, and it seems to do a lot. Like it's at least gotten me a brief moment of time where I can like think clearly again. I'm like, okay, I have control of my thoughts. I've stopped this for a second, but I can tell they're coming back. So maybe I'll do a light test, a knowledge test, so I can really try to like perceive like what's real and what's not, and just like, you know, use my old brain to like try to discern between like, you know, these visions that I'm getting and whatnot. So yeah, I'm gonna do a challenge, do light. So I add 3 to my roll. So they also add 3. So we both, that's a tie. So not a whole lot goes on there. I'm like trying, you know, I've kind of did a bit of a counter spell on these visions, so they're not as bad, but I'm just trying to like really focus in on like what's real and what's not, but it's still, head is foggy, and it's like I don't even know, you know, where I'm at and all this stuff. So I was like, okay, well maybe my spell wasn't strong enough. So I'm gonna do another spell. I'm gonna roll plus Aether. Let's see how this goes. Jeez. Okay, so that is enough though, I think, right? Because I have 6, they have 5. That is a win on my part. A difference of 1 means I add 1, and that brings this contest score to +6, which just ends it. And that means I win the contest. So I cast another kind of counter spell as I'm standing on these steps, and I finally like slowly overcome these visions and these this like spell. It's causing like to mess up my thoughts and making me not able to discern what's like real. And I start snapping back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Well, I guess that's what happened earlier. There was a gravity-defying lemur. But yeah, so the visions have been overcome. So I feel like that's got to be the main challenges of the staircase. So then let's see. Am I close to the top? Because this is an some of the things, like, that's one thing about this game, like, gives me not weird names for stuff, but like earlier I had to try to pass an impassable chasm. Well, the name says it's impassable, so that means it really shouldn't be passable, but I passed it. Like the staircase, it's called an infinite staircase, but I need to climb the staircase like to the top. Like if it's infinite, there is no top, so I don't know how that works, but I imagine there's probably no top. So yeah, I imagine as I just slowly up and going through like these harder and harder tests that the staircase is giving me. So first we start out with the basic riddles, which I got just like that. Slowly further up, they sent these, whatever it was, the boy dancers at me, which I was able to defeat. And then they started bombarding me with these visions, and that was a tough one, but we managed to squeak by with some helpful magics. So then after I've overcome this third trial, I feel like that's got to be it. So I'm gonna I don't know. Does the staircase have any more trials for me? That's my question. I'm gonna go with unlikely, but I don't know. Does the staircase have more trials for me? Yes, there's another trial, a final trial. Maybe I'll roll a d6 to see what kind of trial it is, because I don't even know. Or like what kind of adversary is what I meant to say. So a 2 on the adversary roll is a challenge. So some sort of final skill challenge I have to overcome. What kind of skill challenge would it be? So these are all the troubles. Trouble. It could just be trying to like, I don't even know. Let's roll and see what it says, but I don't know if I'm gonna go with what it says. I'll just say that right off the bat. 52 is the Celestial Canvas Clash. Yeah, that doesn't really work here. Maybe I will go with that. I don't know. Sure. You know what? Screw it. We'll go with it. So I passed the riddle challenge. I passed the combat challenge. I passed the sanity visions challenge. I think it makes sense then. The final challenge of this infinite staircase challenge is to do a paint off, is to do a celestial canvas clash. So sure. You know what? Why not? Let's go for it. Oh, that's a contest? I wanted a challenge. Well, now I'm all, you know what? I was supposed to do a challenge, but I already kind of like the idea of this, so I'm going to go with it. We'll do another contest as our final. That the staircase is probably, you know, something along the lines of like, okay, you've overcome the first 3 challenges, so now the final challenge to see if you're really worthy is the Celestial Canvas Clash. I'm like, okay. So Celestial Canvas Clash. This is going to be, I don't know, they still have I'm still gonna give them a skill ranking of, we'll see, +2. They're still probably gonna be good, and then they'll start at 0 for the contest score, the CS. And we'll see if I can do this bit of a paint off. Okay. So, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. So I guess it's on me to... Well, I do everything else with magic, so why not magic this up? I'm going to use magic to magic. And maybe I'll magic some magic with my magic, and that would be pretty magical. So for the contest, yeah, I'm going to roll with plus Aether as I try to channel the arcane to help me paint and get inspiration for. I try to challenge the staircase to a paint off. What is even going on in this game? So that is really good for me. That is a 10 against their 5. So already right off the bat, I'm sitting at a score of +5, so I'm about to win. And I'm just gonna go magic again. Oh, that's +4, and then we have +2. So that's another 6 against a 5. That's a +1. Yeah, they're already done. Dude, why did they even challenge me to a paint off if that was gonna go that bad for them? Well, that first roll was really good. I must have like really channeled my arcane inspiration from my previous encounter of maybe I'm like really arcane. I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. I'm really like, I have like a lot of arcane energy in me because I just recently got done with that whole vision thing. So I'm probably still maybe a little bit like, you know, worn out, but also like ready to go. And I have just like arcane energy flowing through me. So yeah, I was able to whip up a pretty mean painting that pleased the staircase entity, I guess I'll call it, the staircase thing. And yeah, I was able to please it. So then I imagine at this point I get to start asking it some questions. So I'm gonna create a new scene for this. Scene 4, we'll raise the chaos ranking. I wasn't even looking at the right chaos ranking for some of those roles. Whatever, doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna write confront staircase about appearance. Okay, so I don't think I'm at the top of the staircase, but I'm at the point where the staircase is like, all right, you've proved yourself worthy through all of my challenges. What do you want to know? Well, first off, is there some sort of prize besides just getting the answer to whatever I want? Like, do I get any award or anything? Any prize? Any ribbon? I don't know. I'm gonna go with 50-50 because I don't know. 92. There did no. It's an exceptional no. The staircase is like, yeah, you know what you get? You get to live. So be gracious to that. I'm like, okay, whatever. Okay, well, staircase then. If my award is questions, then questions I shall ask. With question number 1 being, what the heck are you doing here, man? Like, what? Okay, so you just appeared here, the staircase. Was this of your own choosing? Like, did you decide to come here, or were you brought here? So that's my first question to the staircase, is like, was this something of your own doing to be here and doing all of this? That's my question to the staircase. Were you the one that brought yourself here? I have no idea. We'll go with 50-50 because 93. No, exceptional no. Not even no, exceptional no. That's like, I don't like exceptional no because I feel like that means not only no did it not bring itself here, exceptional no leads me to believe that it doesn't know how it got here, but that would be annoying because then I climbed this whole staircase for nothing. Well, okay, so it didn't bring itself here. Maybe we could say the exceptional no is not that it didn't know how it got here, but maybe that it just doesn't want to be here. It's like, I'm here and I'm not happy about it. So we could maybe use that angle as like the exceptional no, is that, yeah, I kind of like that better. Okay. So the staircase, was summoned here is kind of just how I guess I'll phrase it. Here, not on its own terms, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, it was brought here. It didn't make the decision to come to this island and be a staircase giving people riddles and whatnot. Yeah, it would be, I'm just gonna write like, it doesn't like being here. So then I guess the golden question is, okay, you didn't bring yourself here. You don't want to be here. The two questions in my mind are just, what brought you here and how do we get you back? Because if it doesn't want to be here, that's another thing. So what made this staircase appear on this island in this field? No, I don't know. Once again, I don't know. I think I might have to like consult some verbs and nouns just to get some stuff going. Because those are my two main questions. Is I need to figure out, okay, this thing didn't bring itself here. How did it get here? And then how do we get it back? This is gonna be kind of a weird question, but like, I'm gonna ask it. Because I still have some other important questions to ask, but my this is such a weird question. Have you always been a staircase? That's my question. I'm gonna go with likely, very likely, very like. We'll go with likely. We'll go with very likely. It wouldn't have mattered. It was both yes. Okay, so yes. I wasn't sure if this is like, I don't know, some situation where like some person was turned into an infinite staircase as like some sort of punishment or something like that. So this magical infinite staircase has always been a magical infinite sentient staircase that has been teleported here against its will. It doesn't want to be here. We're learning a lot. Okay, so I guess the two still main questions I have is then, how exactly did it end up here? And how do we get it back to where it came from? What does the staircase think? Does the staircase know what brought it here? I'm gonna go with very likely, but I don't know for sure. We'll keep this as the does it actually know? Does it know what brought it here? Yes. Okay, so it knows what brought it here. It didn't do it. It doesn't like being here. And it's always been a staircase. Okay. So I'm just gonna roll some verbs and nouns to see what brought it here. Maybe that'll help spark an idea. 32, create, 21, community. That doesn't make much sense. I'm gonna re-roll these, see if I get something better. Avenge. Maybe I'll just do 2 verbs, like avenge and balance. Is that what this one is? Yeah, avenge and balance. So what could have caused this staircase to appear here? Avenge balance. Avenge balance. Avenge balance. So I like to think that maybe this island or someone on this island summoned this staircase here. Ooh, I have a really interesting idea. We're kind of near the shattered prison, right? So what if there's some group in the shattered prison and there's some like sorcerer there, right? And then that's like their hideout is the shattered prison. And all the time they have adventurers coming into the shattered prison, trying to get some loot, trying to make it their home. And the group in the shattered prison has had enough. So they're like, you know what? We need something that's gonna to get rid of these adventurers. I'm tired of them coming into our shattered prison. So they worked with some local wizard to try to cook up some crazy magical trap. And yada yada yada, there's a staircase here now. So that's how it works. Yeah, the classic yada yada yada, but I think it works here. What's that? It's the kitty. Say hi. Say hi. I don't think she's gonna say hi. Okay. And she's gone. And she's gone. Okay. I got hair everywhere. Okay, I think that's a pretty decent idea. So there's some group in the shattered prison that's sick of adventures. And so that's how I think, because I was also trying to think what is like whatever my words are. It was balance and something else. Control, balance, or whatever. Balance and avenge. Whatever it was with balance. I like to think of it that, yeah, it was like the group in the shattered prison was getting sick of these adventurers just coming by looting their stuff, or like maybe it wasn't even the adventurers, just people in Inchfield. So they're like, we need to cook up some way to just get rid of these people and just, you know, have a nice little bit of balance in the world, so we stopped getting annoyed with. So they worked with some wizard to just teleport this magic staircase from somewhere to here. Okay. So if a magic wizard teleported them here, I'm kind of a magic wizard myself. I'm a bit of a spell weaver. I think I can maybe weave some spells to try to get rid of this thing. Yeah. Maybe I'll just make that offer to the staircase. I'm like, listen, I overcame your visions. I'm pretty good with magic. I might be able to put you back where you came from. It's gonna be a complicated spell. And you're gonna have to, like, I don't know, use your magics to help my magics, but I think we can get there. If you came here with magic, it's a safe bet we can get you pretty close back to where you came from with magic. And I imagine the staircase is all for it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go down to the bottom, start working on the spell. I just say adios to the staircase as I start heading down. Yeah, I guess I head down the staircase and I start trying to cast this magic spell to teleport the staircase back to where it came from. So that sounds like a challenge roll of teleporting the staircase back. Okay. So I'm going to make that like a skill. That's like a 10 difficulty thing for sure. And then, yeah. So it's a challenge. So I need to just overcome it. I'm obviously going to be using Aether because that's magic. And you know what? I'm going to just Hail Mary all in this last thing. I'm going to spend 3 energy points because you can spend up to 3 per anytime you roll to get a +1. So I'm basically get a +3 from that and a +4 from my Aether. So I'm rolling with a total of +7. So I just need a 3 or higher to do this in one go. And that was a 6. Let's go. Yeah, I channel my inner arcane energy. I use all of my energy pools. I pull out my grimoires and spell books, and I'm searching through trying to figure out which spells to use and how to properly say certain parts to get them to go wherever and all this other stuff. And I start casting the spell, and then poof, staircase is gone. And just like that, dealt with, problem solved. And I guess I'll then head back to Ingfield to just give him the good news. So I travel back to Ingfield and I go hit up Calathus, and I'm like, hey, Calathus, what's up? And they're like, what's up? And I'm like, staircase is gone. And they're like, really? What happened? I give them the whole story about, well, it wasn't like the staircase appeared here. It was whatever group is in the shattered prison. They were getting tired of adventurers and villagers coming to their place, so they decided to teleport a magical infinite staircase to trap people and kill people and all that good stuff. You know, the usual. It's probably just everyday stuff around here. And yeah, I told them, hey, you know, the staircase, with the help of them, staircase using its magic on itself and me casting a spell on itself, we were able to get it out of here. And I imagine they're very appreciative for that. And yeah, they probably thank me, and maybe I get a nice meal, a bit of a rest. I don't know how long this day has been, but it's probably been a bit tiresome, walking up a lot of stairs. Probably got all my steps in for the day on my arcane Fitbit that I got going on. And yeah, I just chill out in the settlement for a little bit, socialize with Calathus and Reuven and all the other people I met. And then after a bit of time, I'm like, well, it's been swell. Glad I could help, but there's other islands out there that need me, and I'm still on the hunt for some ancient forgotten spell or magical artifact to revolutionize the practice of magic. So still on the lookout for that. But until then, the quest continues on to the next island. And so I set sail for wherever the Nectar takes me, wherever the constellations in the Nectar takes me. And I set sail to the next island. And so I could do the little seafaring phase part of the rules. So I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. Where are we at? Framing a scene, yada yada yada. Rest. No. Where's it? End the mission. Yeah, we did that. Oh, where there it was. Seafaring phase. There's like 3 parts to this, I think. So the whole departure, I already did that. Yeah, they probably had a nice festival for me. Or maybe just, maybe not a nice festival, just that nice dinner, nice meal. That's all I could really ask for. And then, yeah, so now that I'm in the boat on the way to my next island to help someone else out, there's kind of 3 main things you do during the seafaring phase. You reflect, you bond, and you dive. So let's go through each of them real fast, because I kind of skipped these over the rules explanation because I figured we'd get to it at some point, and that some point is now. So during the reflect step, your character seeks solitude aboard the ship, finding a quiet corner, cozy nook, or private space to contemplate the recent experiences. This introspective process is unique to each individual, so take a moment to describe how your character engages in self-reflection. Do they write in a journal, ponder silently, or express themselves through a creative activity like drawing or crafting? I mean, I imagine Tydaris is a bit of a journaler. Probably have a bit of a journal they keep. They're like very into arcane. They probably have a lot of books and stuff, so they're probably into writing. So that's probably what they do. You can roll some oracles to help delve into your character's thoughts and feelings. Embrace the opportunity to better understand your character's perspective. Immerse yourself in solidarity away from the bustle and camaraderie of the ship. Once you've completed the reflect step, your character's introspection and restorative moments will have helped them recuperate from the troubles they have faced during the mission. As a result, HP is fully maxed. So think back to the adventure and all the stuff I learned. I'm always out there trying to learn more about the arcane and whatnot, and I have definitely never in my life have seen an infinite staircase before. And so I learned all about that and all the stuff that I guess comes with an infinite magical staircase. And I guess as I just reflect and I write in my journal on the boat as I sail to the next island, I regain all of my HP. 16 out of 16. Hello there, Jeremiah. Happy Sunday. Hope you're doing good. We're just kind of wrapping up here, just setting sail from this island and doing a bit of reflecting in our little boat journey as we go along. So then step 2 is the bond step. So in the bond step, players have a chance to forge deeper connections with one another by sharing their experiences, personal stories, and insight during their journey. Whether playing with others or alone, you can opt to interact in pairs, as a group, or with a supporting character on the ship. Solo players may also choose to express these thoughts to a letter or a friend by consulting a mystical fortune-telling device. I think what maybe I'll do for my bond section, since I am playing solo, is I'll do what it says. Maybe like write a letter to a friend. And I think since I am a bit of a mystic, like arcane user, that there is a good chance I have some sort of like mentor, someone that taught me a lot of the stuff I know. Maybe I look up to, or I ask for advice when it comes to the arcane expertise. So maybe I write them a letter about my experiences and specifically about this crazy staircase that I've never seen before. Is this an RPG or more of a like Sleeping Gods kind of story game? No, this is definitely more of an RPG. It is an RPG. It's made by the same designer that made Derelict Delvers, which I played on the channel like a month or so ago. But yeah, it's this bright fantasy game where you're going island to island, solving problems and whatnot. Which, yeah, we just got done with this island. And the problem they had was there was this infinite staircase that just appeared on the island. That was this magical staircase that A, was infinite, and B, it was like posing riddles and trials to people and like putting weird visions and images in their head, and I guess in some cases killing the people. So yeah, this crazy magic infinite staircase just appeared here, so we had to go deal with that, and we just got done with that. So now we're in the boat setting sail to the next island. And yeah, we're just kind of reflecting on our experiences here. There's a demo content. Is there? Yeah, I mean, I know this game right now. I think it's unfortunate. I think it's in a weird spot that like this game was on Crowdfunder, and I think it just ended earlier today. But soon there should be a new link for it to be available on like itch.io. So I will post a new link whenever that's available. But yeah, I think as of just earlier today, it's not available at the moment. But yeah, the maps are pretty cool. I got the maps from a website that the book recommends, but I do like the maps a whole lot. Okay, so Bonds is done. It was the first step, reflect. I reflected. I wrote a letter to my mentor about this crazy staircase. And now for the final step is dive. So during the dive step, each character embarks on solitary journey to deepen their connection to the Nexus. So to achieve this, describe how your character forms the bond, whether it's through meditation, conducting a ritual, yada, yada, yada. Once the dive is complete, you could choose one of the following upgrades to your character. You can add a dot into any way score. You could pick a talent, pick a relic, upgrade a relic, add 4 HP to your, 4 to your HP or 4 to your EP. And you could choose just one of those, but there's a lot of options, man. Oh, there is demo. Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, well that's good to know. Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay. What do I want to? I guess I want to pick another talent, or do I want to pick another relic? No, I want to pick another talent for sure. I want Arcane Bolt. Because I wanted it before and I didn't take it, and I was sad. So now I've got Arcane Bolt, and that's how you upgrade your character. And with the dive phase done, we would be on to the next island. Which, yeah, I had some more islands over here, but I'm not gonna get to them today. I had our island, and this one was cool because it's Dungeon of Mon, so I thought I was gonna get to do a little bit of dungeon diving today, but that's all right. Fortunately, yeah, that's this infinite staircase, I guess, took a little bit longer than I anticipated, but yeah, so that was that. And I think that's where I'm gonna kind of start wrapping stuff up today. But yeah, this game is really, really fun. I've been really enjoying it. I think it's got a lot of great systems in it. It's got a lot of cool tables for just like the verb, noun, adjectives. Got all the stuff about the island with the names, the descriptions, I really like the different troubles, like the different things. Like the infinite staircase was just like a cool one. The last time I played, one of the things I had was like the echoing caves, and that was really fun. That was like a whole thing. So the troubles alone are really great, but then you can also come up with your own island troubles just using like some of these, just rolling on those. So the scene framing is pretty cool. The story complications, yeah. The tables are great in this. Yeah, overall, I really like this game. I like the ways system, the talents, goals, relics. The talents do confuse me a little bit, and maybe I'll need to get some clarification on that to figure out exactly how talents work. We'll see if I was playing them right. I don't know if they do give you an additional roll for using the talent or if it's just a bonus. Not 100% sure. But yeah, the rules of this game are really simple. I for some reason, I don't know why, but I really do like the 3 different types of rolls. I like how you have your challenge rolls for like your skill checks. I really like having a contest roll. Like, I don't know, something about that is just, it's really well done, I think, and it just kind of works pretty well. Combat's pretty straightforward. Yeah, and I like how this game is kind of like Derelict Delvers. It's kind of just episodic. Like in this game, you go to an island, you do the stuff on the island, you help them out, and then you leave. And then each island is kind of its own thing. That's kind of how Derelict Delvers was, where you go to a ship, you go through some rooms, go through as many rooms as you want, and then once you kind of solve the thing on the ship, you leave, and then you're on to your next ship. And between ships, you kind of upgrade. So there's definitely a lot of commonality between the two games, which I do really like, that the kind of episodicness of both of the games. I think it helps just from a Souls like role-playing perspective, that's just kind of easy to pick up, and oh, maybe you'll just play part of an island, or maybe you'll just do a whole island now. And yeah, the islands, like I said, I generated from the website, and they're pretty great. And yeah, I also like, you don't really need too many other resources. I was using Mythic, at least the fate chart, just the fate chart. But the fate chart does work well because this game runs on the idea of scenes, and if you know Mythic uses the idea of scenes, so it kind of just meshes well that you can update your chaos factor each scene, and if you really want to, you can roll to see if the scene's altered or interrupted, you know, that kind of stuff. So it does work well with, I think, Mythic. And yeah, I really like this game. I'm curious to see what's all going to change between the version I have and once it gets updated more in the future. I don't know if there's going to be more playbooks, more tables. I mean, I don't think from what I heard too much is really supposed to change between the playtest version and the final version, but who knows? But yeah, overall, I think it's a pretty cool game. I definitely will play it more in the future. Maybe continue the adventures of Tydaris and see if she can figure out that or discover some ancient forgotten spell or magical artifact to help revolutionize the practice of magic. But yeah, I think that's pretty much, I'm gonna start wrapping it up here. But before I do, I'll switch over to my just chatting, as I just chat for a second and talk about what's coming up on the channel this week. So, do my little preview like I normally do. And for this week on the channel, changing up stuff just a little bit. So normally Tuesday, I would be releasing my card game playthrough, where I do a playthrough of some card game with a normal 52 deck of cards. I'm going to be pushing that back till next week, because this week I am going to be posting a list video for Gen Con, because I'm going to Gen Con this year, and that's coming up in like 2 weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks. So Tuesday, I'm going to be posting a video about games I am excited to buy and games I'm excited to try at Gen Con. Kind of a list of 10 games I'm excited to buy and 10 I'm excited to try, and like demo and whatnot. So that's what will be coming Tuesday, is my Gen Con anticipated games video. Thursday, I will of course be continuing with my Fallout RPG playthrough series, which I'm still having a lot of fun with. It's slowly picking up more and more, kind of starting to progress the story some, and I've been having a lot of fun with that. So that will be coming Thursday. And then next Sunday I'm excited for, because I am going to be playing, let me grab it to show it off. A pow. I'm going to be playing one of the Exit games. So if you're not familiar with the Exit games, they are like little escape room type puzzles, where you have a lot of just little puzzles and riddles and things that you have to solve to try to beat the game. It has a lot of different, I don't know how else to describe it better than that. It's just a very, yeah, there's lots of puzzles, riddles, challenges and whatnot to solve to beat the game. I have done only one of these in the past. It wasn't this one. It was like a cabin one that I did with some of my family. I had a lot of fun doing it. I've never done one with just me before. And that's what I'll be doing next Sunday, is I'm going to be playing through this one, Dead Man on the Orient Express, and trying to see if I can solve it. It might go really quickly. It might take me a long ass time. But yeah, that's what I will be playing next week, is trying to solve this game. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna try to do it without any help. I might have to come to you all for some help, so I might start like begging chat if I need help. But I'm gonna see how far I can get with just me doing it. Should be pretty fun. But yeah. So that's what's coming up this week. Is Tuesday, I have my Gen Con video with games I'm excited to buy and try. Thursday will be more Fallout 2D20 RPG. And then Sunday, I'll be attempting exit game of Dead Man on the Orient Express. So I'm looking forward to this. I might... There's like difficulty levels on the back, so I am a little worried, or on the front, like 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5 stars of difficulty. This is a 4 out of 5 one. But also, I did some very brief Googling and like just general searching on the internet to see like which exit game people recommended, because I didn't want to get a lot of spoilers, but I wanted to see what people recommended. And this one came up a lot, so hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully I can solve it. Who knows? But tune in next Sunday to see see how that goes and see if I can figure out who the murderer was. Oh, okay, it's a classic like murder investigation type thing. So yeah, that's what's coming up this week. Thank you for the stream. Have a great night, Thomas. Oh, thank you for stopping by, Katie. Appreciate it. Hope you have a good rest of your Sunday and a good week. Yeah. So yeah, that's what's coming up this week, and I think that's gonna do it for this stream. So thank you all so much for watching. Everybody that stopped by live, I really appreciate it. It's always more fun streaming when I have some people to chat with and hang out with. So thank you everybody that stopped by live. If you enjoyed this stream, a like would always be greatly appreciated. It always helps the algorithm and it helps me know if you enjoy these types of streams. So let me know, like it if you like it, dislike it if you hate it, but if you dislike it, you're dead to me. So just know that, but let me know, you know? But anyway, with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see ya. That's the wrong one. There we go. That's still the wrong one. There we go. I don't know what buttons I'm clicking. Have a good one, everybody. I'll see you next week live, and Tuesday with some Gen Con anticipated games video. Hope y'all have a good week. Keep an eye out in the description. I'll be posting new links for this game once it's fully available and whatnot, because this is a cool little game. I definitely recommend checking out for yourself. Bye, everybody.